bro?
Yeah.
Top Lobster Productions.
Neph to America is recorded in front of a live studio audience. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Neph to America, your cultural commentary for the end of days. I am David Lee Corbo, a.k.a. The Raven. That is Top Lobsta, the father of disinformation.
Well, hello there.
And we are joined today by Matthew Hepner, the purveyor.
I thought we were just talking about Patreon.
I fucking threw a loop for you real quick. And we're going to do the Patreon thing.
No, we're doing the Patreon.
All right, fine. Never mind, Matt. I'll tell you who's here in a second, but before I do that, you want to pay us? I want you to as well. Patreon.com/Nephilim Death Squad is the place to do that. Early access to episodes, ad-free listening experiences, access to private NDS communities filled to the brim with dangerous retards, and also discount codes off of merchandise from toplobsta.com. That's also where you can get Bohemian Grove tickets. Some people were asking questions like, what about hotels? You have like all this drop down.
Yeah. I mean, I went through painstaking detail here.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to care.
I literally didn't answer. I was about to type out a thing and I said, you're fucked. I'm not going to tell you. Anyway, that's where you go to get your general admission tickets that gets you into the door on August 8th.
Great guests.
Hanging out with us is less joining us and more hanging out with us, because that's what this show is about. Neph to America is a little bit different. We are joined by, I said it anyway, Thomas the Paranoid American and Matthew Hepner. Guys, round of applause. Do we have the round of applause button?
I don't have that button.
You'll never know if I'm watching the chat today because of the shades. So this is going to be a very fun episode.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you, Nick.
All I want to say is Christ is King.
Amen. Amen. Christ is King. We have a lot of fantastic stuff that we're going to get into today. I don't know which front we should start. Actually, you know what? Let's just get this out of the way. Here, we're going to start with the thing that I'm not sharing at all to the audience. Apparently, there was an announcement today on Fox News. I use the word announcement very loosely because, truth be told, I've not watched this at all. So I don't know if it would constitute an announcement, but it is of the alien variety. So here, I'm not going to spoil it. Let's get into it. Jesse Waters, he's a homosexual from Fox News, and he's
same hairdo, bro.
Yeah, well, that's where I get all my fashion advice from homosexuals. Is this wrestling? This is Jesse Waters primetime. This looks like a wrestling promo. Here, let's let it go.
We are not alone. The Pentagon released the UFO files a few weeks back, and we just found out over 1 billion people have visited the site. 1 billion. It's got to be a record. The War Department says more files will be released soon. UFO experts and top researchers have been investigating aliens for years. Their sources say dozens of crashed UFOs have been recovered, and what they found inside, shocking.
And do people think that there's
we went straight to a black dude. This is a crazy turn of events.
He's got cool stuff.
I actually didn't see this coming. I didn't think we were going to go straight to a black dude for our...
It looks like he's recording in the library.
Why does it say, quote... Was this here? This looked like it was here, right in the back of the Standard Coffee Shop. The Diary of a CEO, by the way. I don't know why it says that in quotations up at the time, but let's see what this black guy has to say.
Men in Black.
of non-human intelligence that's visiting the Earth, or is there many types?
People who have been involved in recoveries have said
there are at least 4 separate types.
He was in the show we watched, Raven.
Age of Disclosure, the documentary, the Lou Elizondo hero's journey story.
Fox News is just pulling stuff from a podcast now. That dude's a podcaster. I'm just saying, like, look how crazy the planet is.
You know why, dude? Because we are now.
Yeah, we make the news.
We make the news. We're the authority on information. It's information warfare, and podcasters have come out on top.
That's wild, though.
It is wild.
I have not had direct access to that, but I believe the people who I talk to.
4 different types of life.
4 different types of life.
4 different species of
4 different. So we're going to get into this in this Here, let's bring this. I'll
You want
make
me
it
to
small
take
for a
guesses
second.
on the 4?
No, well, you
Just
know,
based on my history with you guys, my short history.
I think that's a fair thing to do. We can do that. I know the answer.
Rakes, Palladians,
Rakes.
Greys,
Did you say rakes?
and Reptilians.
I love how this is how deep you're in, though, bro. He said rakes, and you fucking recoiled.
Yeah, because it's like,
Rakes, you dumb it.
what are we doing,
What?
Thomas?
How is
What
it
have
not
we,
rakes?
what have
Thomas,
we been
please.
doing here, dog?
It's the Reptilian/Draco/Saurians, depending on, and they actually don't like to be called ETs. They
I'm
like to be
already
called
erect. That was great. Go on.
interstellar citizens, what they prefer to be called.
Right.
But you've got the Greys, you've got the Nordics / all the other like white people versions of aliens.
Yeah.
The Draco and Reptilians, and
Which
then,
is where black people came
and
from,
then
by the way.
either there's the Mantis race or there's like a ethereal spiritual
Insectoid.
version.
Yeah.
Insectoid.
So that's your toss up.
I'm tracking with
You're
that.
tossing up on either spiritual, plasma, organic kind of thing, or.
Well, that's a race.
Insectoids.
There's an entire race of aliens which are spiritual.
But I'm
in
saying
nature.
what's going to be mentioned in this clip, because right now you're crushing.
I mean, reptilians have got to be at the top.
Sure. And I'm going to go ahead and say, yeah.
And Greys.
Yeah.
I don't know about Mantis.
Okay.
I don't think
don't
we're
know
ready
about
for that.
Mantis.
Yeah.
You don't think we're ready for
Insectoids
Mantis?
are on the ships with the Palladians and Greys, right?
Yeah, they are.
Nordics? Is Nordics and Palladians the same thing? Like white aliens?
They're kind of interchangeable. Some people try to say there's a line of delineation to be drawn. I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
you got big whites.
Thick whites.
Thick whites.
Thin
Thick.
whites, tall whites.
Yeah, it's all the same thing.
He
All right,
knows what's
well,
up.
here, let's see
Hold on, let's
where it
pull this
goes from
back
here.
up.
Yeah, means business 420. I thought the same thing, man. That was
Aliens.
uncomfortable.
Another scientist called them Greys, Nordics, Insectoids, and Reptilians. All
Let's
of
go.
Okay.
Let's go.
So
Good
we got
job, guys.
insectoids.
This is exciting.
We're going full blown crazy. Are you excited about that, Thomas?
This is so surface level. I want to
Of
talk
course.
about how the planet Tiamat tried to use the intergalactic cosmic web as a weapon, but it backfired and they exploded. And the top 1% of the elite of Tiamat had to escape to the moon, which is actually a starship.
Yes.
And inside the moon, they try to make another attack. It also failed. And now the inside of the moon is littered with dead bodies. And if you were to pressurize it and go inside the moon, you would just smell the stench of, I think it's like 400,000 dead aliens.
But that's what nothing smells in space because there's no oxygen.
Until you pressurize it.
Well, yeah. Well,
Wait,
would
wait,
they
wait,
have
wait, wait. Are you
decomposed in any meaningful way if there's no oxygen, or are they still fresh?
Why are you being such a conspiracy hipster? Like this is fun.
Yeah.
This is cool.
Well, it is exactly what Daddy said when he came on the show, right? He goes, well, they
Yeah.
have the cowls and there are also the
They're
Nordics.
the guys with the clip heads. They
It's
run
interesting
shit.
because he did this is exclusively what he named on our show.
Yeah.
It's almost like
He knew.
he knew.
Well, apparently he had a little bit of a crash out on Frank's show because of-
really,
yeah, I don't know. I was reading somewhere that like Daddy crashed out a bit because
Daddy crashed out.
Who's daddy?
Timothy Alberino.
How dare you?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
probably
yeah.
don't want to call him that.
Well, you don't have to call him, but it's now since I've apologized to him. It was actually he said, I'm willing to accept the apology. You have to call me publicly Daddy from now on. He thought that was more of a gotcha moment, but I was like happy to.
Yeah.
So I don't really feel any way about it.
You have to make it like overly sexual now, just so he's uncomfortable every time you call him daddy.
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 Well, Daddy crashed out a little bit on Frank because, and I get it. Like people are
Oh,
making,
Frank. Wait.
no, not on Frank, but on his show. I got to watch it.
Okay.
But people are making a mockery of his work because they're
Sure.
saying, yeah, they're like, oh, you're full of shit. You're a grifter. Oh, like it seems like they're saying all
Feels
the
like
things
we did a
said.
number. Did we do that? Was that us?
Chat.
Who else was
Wait,
taking
wait.
shots at Timothy Alberino in any meaningful way over the last couple of months?
What about this news?
Are
I
you
thought-
reading the chat?
No,
okay.
I'm
It is.
saying I thought
saw
they
it.
came out with like they said, okay, we did disclosure, and everybody was like, nobody even cares. Didn't they do disclosure
It's
like
a
a
slow
week
roll.
ago?
It's a slow roll.
Yeah, it was a light disclosure. It was mostly
the
about
tip.
craft.
But
Yeah.
initially, nobody cared.
The mushroom tip.
They
was a
asked
craft.
us.
care about this
They
one?
said, "Can we do disclosure?" And overwhelmingly, the public said just the tip, and so that's what they did. Just the tip for now.
It's going exactly as I suspected, though. It's like, okay, they're going to give you craft and other menial bullshit. Now they're doing this nice introduction of NHI.
Yeah.
And then they're going to start to declassify or classify or create classifications of what they are. So like this is what I'm saying. I know this is all old hat.
You're supposed to be
for us,
having fun, Thomas.
but this is
We're
fun.
having fun.
Those
All right.
people back there,
they're not.
when they
having
go
fun.
home and they turn on their fucking tube TVs, they're going to
You're very mad at them. You're very mad.
Yeah,
at them.
yeah, yeah.
don't touch my wires.
Well,
I
by the
know,
way,
but you're still very hostile.
we are doing a thing. I guess I'm leading the thing. I don't know what it's going to look like, but we're going to do live presentations here the second Thursday of every month where we put flyers out and then we're going to let them show up.
Normies.
And we're going to go, hey, look, fucking Jesse Waters, the well-groomed homosexual man from Fox News is telling you that
Did
there are
Jesse Waters always have 2 T's in his name, or is this a Mandela effect?
Oh.
What? Waters is spelled with 1 T. What are you talking about?
No, it's 2.
And the Mandela effect
Oh,
also has been attributed to the intergalactic war between different alien races. I don't know if you know
they
that.
keep
I'm not
saving us
making
by
that up.
putting us on different timelines.
Correct.
Yes, yeah. I get it.
Oh,
Oh,
so
here, let's
this
let
makes a
this
lot of
guy
sense then.
finish up his spiel.
All of them have 2 arms and 2 legs, just like us. Experts speculate the reptilians are scaly with long tails like a lizard. Insectoids look like a praying mantis. The Greys look like your classic movie alien.
He's saying this like it's a movie. He's
I gotta
saying
say,
it like
by the
he doesn't
way,
even believe it.
that image that they're showing, I'm pretty sure is
That's
a
like
flare.
That's a Tic Tac, isn't it? Oh,
It's
oh,
a-
it's
I'm
it's
not-
just saying, look at the way he's talking. It doesn't feel like this is the news. It feels like he's like mocking it and doesn't believe it.
Well, yeah, because if you introduce it with some levity at first, as if you don't believe it, but then show this is actually what you were just talking about on Straight Bible or Where You're From with Matt, where if you introduce a thing with a tinge of humor, it's much more palatable, and then you can kind of also say, but look, here's some evidence, whatever that evidence looks like. I don't know if he's going to get into
someone
that.
tries to debunk you or discredit you for mentioning it,
You go,
you're
I don't
like,
fucking believe this
can
either.
you tell I was joking?
Yeah,
Now you're going
yeah,
to make fun of me
yeah.
because I was joking?
Right. Well,
That's a brilliant scheme, dude. I wonder if like
he got
anybody
that
else
from
uses
Fox
that.
News.
he got that from Thomas the Paranoid American.
Yeah, that's right. Jesse Waters stole it from the Paranoid American. Here, let's let him finish up. Maybe he'll introduce some evidence,
There we go.
to his claims.
And the Nordics look like a regular Swedish guy, but 7 feet tall.
It's fucking
We
crazy
haven't
that we're
seen
getting
the
this,
evidence,
right?
But Pete Hegseth says more evidence is coming. And there are a lot of believers in Congress.
I have seen evidence in a skiff that leads me to believe there are things we cannot explain, and
this
I
a
have observed
Luna?
things that are of non-human origin and creation. That's my opinion.
Releasing the files isn't easy. They've been hidden for years, and a lot of people want to keep it that way.
Problem we have right now is the deep
He
state
was long
fighting the
like
president
faggot.
on
Who's this,
release, and
Burchett?
He kept
Yep.
his word, and I suspect some of our not so friendly
He's a
comrades
Mantis.
and some of our
That's not a Nordic.
That's actually not. That's not neck skin. That's his cowl.
Show me your clipboard.
Let me see your cowl. Yeah. So I mean, this is. I guess it's nothing groundbreaking, but
No, this is groundbreaking. This is like when I tweeted that. We're gonna go back to that in a year or so. And
what
be
was
like,
that?
When I tweeted like, "Hey, the foundational principles of how you live your life."
I thought he said where orthodoxy
been-
is full of faggots.
Well, yes,
That's a different tweet.
it has been fundamentally shifted as of this day, the disclosure day, the day that they say that they're going to start disclosure, and everybody goes, "You're a faggot, Danny."
And
I
it's the
go,
day the movie comes out.
People said that to you?
Well, it's not. It wasn't the day the movie came. It was like a couple weeks ago. It was the week that those Protestant pastors claimed that they had that meeting with government officials.
Yes.
And I go, doesn't matter if it's real or not. Doesn't matter what we think about it. Doesn't matter what's released in this initial drop. What's happening here is the government is telling you that everything you've believed or didn't believe is completely true or
Yeah.
untrue. So like the dynamic has shifted.
So that guy that was cutting my hair today, who was going like, I don't
Yeah,
know, there's just a lot of planets out there, but I
This
don't
is
know
what
if they
I'm
have
saying.
life though.
His shit,
He's gonna get
his
rocked.
entire world is done.
Yeah.
His worldview is
Well, when
done.
we watched that movie in preparation for your debate with your daddy,
Yeah.
Your daddy.
Your daddy too,
Just
dude.
daddy in general.
Just you don't. He's not my
weren't we
daddy.
saying the whole vibe of that movie was like, this just feels like COVID. This just
It was
feels like-
Operation Mockingbird for alien disclosure. It was giving you your talking points, and it was using so much repetition in order to drive it home. It was almost hypnotic in its nature.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when you see the media get together and they say, scholars stormed a mall today, and then you find that same exact story said in that exact same phrasing in the same cadence across hundreds of local news
bullet
stations.
points with the
Wait,
points they
Thomas,
made.
Or they use those phrases like safe and effective, that kind of a deal. Yeah, you got to get it up in your
Pull
mouth.
the mic a little
Oh,
closer.
you get-
Thomas, you don't
Something,
look as convinced as from my statement as everybody else is. So what's the problem?
What am I supposed to be convinced of?
I can't tell. I just can't.
He just lives in a
What's
different.
the statement?
So this is the
realm.
disclosure, and I know people they're getting their minds blown because Jesse Waters just mentioned these 4 reptilians.
Yeah.
But as he's talking about that, my mind's going to the fact that Dwight D. Eisenhower's great-granddaughter claims that she was recruited as a 5-year-old to get transported to the planet Mars, trained for 20 years in Martian warfare, and then they age regressed her back to a 5-year-old and sent her back onto the planet.
Who said that?
This is Dwight D. Eisenhower's great-granddaughter.
Do you think she was a particularly lethal 5-year-old after that? Like other kids on this? Because you have, I was thinking about that the other night. I was trying to go to sleep.
Baddest bitch on the playground.
And I was saying, like, what if you could put my consciousness back into me when I was like 14? And I think that I would just, do I get the motor skills that I have now? Like all the martial arts stuff that I know and all that, and you put that into a 14-year-old's body, would I be able to just start fucking up everybody at school, or would I be limited by the 14? And I know you'd be limited in some sense, but my question is, among the other 5-year-olds, was she capable of violence?
I don't think so, because typically if you're a starseed that's trained in the secret space program, either on Mars or on the moon, once they age regress you back to a 5-year-old, you lose all of the information, and it's only re-enabled another 20 years. So when you basically advance to age 25 on Mars, and then once you complete your training, they regress you back to 5, so that when you come back to 25 again on Earth, then you get to relearn, and they kind of like turn you back on.
How old is she now?
You can access that.
She would be very old now.
Yeah, I think she's 50s now.
I bet you I could beat her ass now. Maybe not at 25 when she remembered everything, but right now I bet you I'd fuck her up.
Unless that she was inside of the moon blasting lasers at you.
That's true too. That's true. Do you think that has anything to do with the supposed like 2 minutes that were missing when they went to the moon? Which I'm not so sure they didn't go to the moon. I go back and forth on this. I'm like, I know we would have faked footage in order to beat China and Russia, whatever. And there was a high likelihood that we couldn't get the footage back because of the radiation belt. But is there a chance that we did get close or went to it and they perceived something, right? You get those recordings where it's like 2 minutes of the interactions or the response from the astronauts. It goes blank. It goes to a different line, supposedly like a medical line or something like that, where they're complaining that something is in the crater and they can see it. They can confirm that this thing is there. In other words, I'm doing a bad job of expressing it. It's like alluding to they saw some alien shit when they were on the moon, and that makes the thing a lot messier. So where we think we didn't go to the moon at all, it's like we did. That footage is certainly not from the moon. And when we did go, that story's totally different than what we understand.
I mean, if you wanted to bring that up, but Buzz Aldrin would smack you right in the face for even suggesting that.
Well, remember that little Chinese girl where he told the little Chinese girl, it was Nancy when she was a kid, had the pleasure of meeting Buzz Aldrin, and Buzz Aldrin said, "Oh, we never went to the fucking moon, you little gook." You remember that? He did not say
direct
that.
quote.
I'm pretty sure that was, I'm not even paraphrasing. Something zipperhead. What is something like that? I forgot what he called her. Maybe there's some correlation there. Maybe that's why he doesn't. Maybe he would act viscerally because he doesn't want to remember what he saw on the moon. All right, let's bring this back up, and here I got it. Boop boop. And figure out what Tim Burchett has to say.
Walking a lot of information. It's about power, it's about control, and that's kind of what runs Washington.
So why is our own government fighting so hard to keep these secret? Well, a dozen scientists have either gone missing or died. Now, we don't know if that's related, but people are scared to talk.
One I thought was going to do an interview, and then a couple days before sent me a message saying, after further consideration and long talks with my wife, I decided I'd be forfeiting my life if I participated in your interview. And I thought that was like very unsettling message to get, obviously, but also very specific word choice, forfeiting my life. Who believes that?
Interesting. I mean, who believes it? I don't know. There was a time where...
I mean, you've gotten death threats, right?
Oh, yeah, that's right. But that was from black people,
things.
so that was kind of to be expected. But yeah, I mean, there was a time where if these stories got out and it wasn't through a major news, syndicate, you would go like, yeah, I believe that. Like when the whispers used to be after an experience, I was visited by an unmarked vehicle, men dressed in black suits, kind of threatened me, in a roundabout way, and I was told to forget about the whole situation. And we would go, oh, fucking the men in black, right? If that same exact story came out through Jesse Waters right now, admittedly, I would go, I don't fucking know about all that, dude. That doesn't seem real to me. So I'm caught right now, and I think a lot of us are in the conspiracy realm in this juxtaposition between exactly what we've thought was going on this entire time and them confirming or affirming everything that we thought. And now it's kind of, we're doing like the Spider-Man meme where we're all pointing at each other, but we're all kind of saying the same shit and we're all accusing each other of being feds. So, Jesse Waters on his show just did something that I previously would have thought was interesting and credible. Now,
no, you don't believe in aliens anymore because Jesse Waters said that.
Yeah, why is this such a blah, 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 blah? Why does this whole thing feel like that? That was supposed to be like this big thing when they say, yeah, the aliens are real. And it's just like nobody even cares.
Yeah.
Nobody, I think partially the response from everybody else, like nobody does care. Those people went in there and did business as usual. Regular
they don't care. They don't watch the news until they get home.
Well, the most interesting part of the Roswell crash, one of the interesting theories is that that's where we got the transistor from. So there was a direct correlation with aliens making contact, and now we've got some technology that didn't exist before that we didn't have access in order to create. I don't know if I believe that necessarily, but that's the claim, was that the transistor was a direct result of technology from the Roswell crash. So any other disclosure, especially if it comes from like a UFO or some extraterrestrial force, it needs to be more than just here's a grainy picture of a shape that could be like bokeh from like a camera lens.
This is a good point.
It needs to be like, here is molecular transfer that has been only a theoretical possibility.
No, here's the alien. Yeah, let's see his ass.
Well, even that image that they were showing on Jesse Waters' show was playing in the background. It was like a flare image. I mean that in the strictest sense of like a lens flare. It has all these spires of light coming off of it. I'm pretty sure that thing has been widely debunked as a flare, an actual flare, attached to a parachute, which apparently is not an uncommon practice in order to slow the descent of a flare, to increase the likelihood that somebody who could offer aid would see it. Sometimes there's a parachute involved.
When is the alien going to do a press conference? All of this stuff, everybody's gonna be like, yeah, whatever. Gas is expensive, food's expensive. Like my job sucks.
Sure.
Until the alien does a press conference.
I don't think that's going to change shit. I think you're still going to be pouring brown water, baby boy. I don't think that that's going to change. I think we're just in this weird paradigm where, as things are going to get revealed to us, they're going to happen in such a fashion that if you work at Amazon, you're going to keep working at Amazon.
Are they going to give us an alien at a press conference at some point, or is it just going to be like, oh yeah, here's this thing, here's that thing, here's another thing?
Well, here, let me bounce this. Firstly, if they did present something that was flesh and blood, and it was sentient, humanoid, whatever, I would have my doubts. I'd be like, there's no way. I can't get past the idea that you didn't create some chimeric nightmare in a deep underground military base. Thomas, if they showed you that, right, because you've been looking at all this for a long time, what would be your first thought? You see any of the here, let's make it a little bit better. You see one of these guys, anyone, pick your poison. Hold on a second. And you tell me what you think. So you've got your Mantis species, Insectoid, height. This is just some bullshit.
Is that dude or a chick on the right?
Yes, and yes. Large compound eyes, highly agile, yada yada. So you got your Mantis, your Gray, your Reptilian, your Nordic. Let's say they roll any one of these guys out on stage. What's your?
Oh, they're gonna roll the Gray. They have to roll the classic Gray.
Yeah. But what's your filter do?
Kill it and dissect it immediately.
Yeah. Well, you're not allowed to because it's on TV, right? I mean, you're here at NDS Studios.
That would be wild if a sniper hit him, though.
And all of a sudden, it's breaking. Beep, beep, beep. We get a presidential, what is that little thing called? The alert to our phones.
And everybody ignores it because it's just filled with, Indian
spam calling you. And you see this thing, you open up your phone and it's Trump and he's standing there and he goes, "We have the best grays. Nobody's got better grays. China doesn't have any grays, but we do." What do you think about it?
I would try to see if I could hack into it because everyone knows that a gray is really just sort of a physical suit, kind of like a drone that aliens are either tapping into or they're just using Wi-Fi to kind of control it.
Yeah.
So you would want to try and intercept
Everybody
that signal.
knows.
That's a meat suit that they potentially could put a demon inside.
They're mobile docking devices for pigeons. So the pigeons that are drones, this is so they no longer have to.
Where are you at on our argument? The whole argument we had with Daddy about aliens being demons or demonic.
Well, clearly he's saying that's because the argument was that no, it's not possible. He's saying, yeah, that's absolutely possible. If it's a meat suit and they can put something in it.
Right, but the nature of what they're putting in it could be a government agent.
I don't think you have
Sure.
to pick. Does it have to be physical or does it have to be spiritual? Like the spiritual could just be another brand of these. Like we've got the 4, then there's the 5th. The 5th one is kind of like this interdimensional version of it. So if you can actually travel through, again, Corey Good and David Wilcock and
shout out to Corey
Einstein.
Good. He's a good.
That's how we got the strike on the channel. Just so you know.
Yeah, be careful.
All respect to David
So
Wilcock.
even if there is this electromagnetic filament system that they're all talking about, the only way to actually traverse from one side to the other would be if you were able to abandon your physical body at some point. So that would go to say that whatever these extraterrestrials are, interstellar citizens, that they might not necessarily be bound to some sort of physical shape. I don't know. You guys are probably familiar with the End of Childhood or
Childhood's End, Arthur C. Clarke,
right? I believe that's probably a similar aspect where they would be smart enough to know that you can't handle the real form.
Yeah.
So here's a form that you can deal with.
This is actually, I think that is the most likely outcome, given even just how our own government behaves when it comes to these topics. I mean, if your thing is the JFK assassination, how long have you been waiting? It seems reasonable, given the pattern of history, that if we were to get some sort of like real grand disclosure, it would be the slowest rollout. Like what we're getting right now, would be part of it, and eventually we might get technologies or something. And I think that's what a lot of people are interested in is a technology aspect. And we might not see, not that we'd ever get to interact with them, but we might not see that moment that I just described, right, where they stand next to some creature for a really long time, well after we've become totally comfortable as a society with them existing, with their technology existing, however they want to frame it for us, whatever they want us to believe, and even the integration of that technology into our own society, which if you're a fan of Childhood's End, it's a great, it's a great series that you can watch on Amazon Prime, I believe.
This is a truth post made by
Very
Trump.
funny.
Yeah.
I like that he's buff, because they wouldn't be buff. Like if I saw that, I'd be like, fuck, I don't know if I could beat that up.
He's too tall to be a gray too.
He is too. Well, they have the tall grays.
But I want to mention too, like look at how Fox News itself operated, right? That Rupert Murdoch was in charge of Fox News for decades, but he's not the guy on TV. He needs to put Jesse Waters. He needs to put Bill O'Reilly on TV because you're going to relate to Bill O'Reilly's version. If you put Rupert Murdoch there, you're going to be like, oh, this guy's the one calling the shot. I'm not going to listen to this guy. He's the one that's writing all this. But if I can put a person in front of you, and that's essentially what Childhood End is, right? It's like, I know that you'll respond better to this thing. It's just a PR campaign.
Well, I mean, if we're looking at any of these creatures here, I don't know that any of these are particularly trustworthy looking. Would have to be the Nordics because they're white. And honestly, because if the Nordics were black, I'd have to go maybe the Reptilians. Maybe
I don't know.
you put
The
the
dinosaur
Reptilians out in
one
front of
looks
us.
crazy, man.
The dinosaur ones are a bit of a problem.
They don't really look like that, do they?
I don't know that they wear clothes.
When you say dinosaur, you mean the Mantis guys?
No, he means the reptilian.
Oh, the reptilian. Okay.
Yeah.
The Goomba.
I mean, 8 feet tall.
The Goomba from Mario.
They're supposed to smell too.
Yeah.
Reptilians.
Yeah,
have
sulfur.
Have
you ever?
One actually is an insect.
This one's not quite accurate because Daddy told us it wears a cowl, and I'm actually not seeing a cowl in this image here.
Towel.
No, cowl. It's got like a big cape and collar, which is the difference between
on the insect.
On the insectoid.
Yeah, like the guy that came in with the cape the other day. You remember that guy?
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
He's the final authority on all scripture.
He had a cape?
I don't want to talk about it right now.
Yeah, it's a long story.
And I don't think any of those aliens are good guys. Every single one of them is basically looking to use humans as slaves in their intergalactic wars. So none of them are really on our side.
Wait, are people going to think like, yeah, these guys are cool?
I think that while they're showing you 4 is so that you can pick the ones that you like the best, even though none of them are the right option.
It's really like which
Street Fighter
way...
2. Like it's like some people went to Chun-Li, some people went to Ken, some people went to Ryu, some people are like, oh, Guile. Same thing. Or
Same-
like,
similar.
It would be more like
Oh, Guile.
someone drops you off at like a gay brothel, and they're like, "Here's the 4 dudes you can pick from."
Yeah.
Does your mother know you're gay? That's the question.
And
we're
it's like
being asked.
they're all going to hurt you. It's gonna hurt, but you get to pick.
Do you want the green one or you want the tall white one?
That's
pick
actually
your own
where we get
adventure.
blap from. The word blap came
Right.
from would you rather be blapped by Hulk Hogan or Ozzy Osbourne?
Oh
They
yeah,
had both
yeah.
died.
Because they're both drinking baby blood. So at some point they raped and murdered children. And if you were one of these children and you had to select, they go, hey, it's
Good
gonna be
question.
Wait, Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan,
Hulk Hogan
or
for sure, yeah.
Ozzy
No.
Osbourne.
That doesn't make me dislike him. I'm just saying.
Thomas
gonna-
would know if it was Hulk
You're
Hogan.
gonna get blapped. by
Ozzy
one.
Osbourne.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that-
because he's not gonna powerbomb you.
Correct.
Yeah. He's not
Yeah,
gonna go,
but that's
get ready,
creep.
brother, and then he's gonna put you through a fucking
Wait, hold
table.
on. What is blap
Blap,
exactly?
blap,
Well,
blap, blap,
Like
blap.
he's gonna punch me or he's gonna
No, he's gonna
bang me?
He's gonna blap, blap,
I don't
blap.
like this
Yeah.
conversation.
He's gonna blap you up.
Man, I don't know.
I'll tell you what, you're not gonna be Guam.
I feel Ozzy Osbourne still.
Yeah, because he's like, oh,
There's a better chance that he'd have whiskey dick than Hulk Hogan. I
That's
think.
true.
No.
Are we talking fentanyl lollipop Hulk Hogan in like his later years?
No,
Or are we
we're talking like
peak Hulk Hogan.
we're talking. He just got done with a pump. He's orange and he's shiny
He just
and
slammed.
he's
I don't
filled
like
with
this.
He just
testosterone
slammed Andre at the Garden.
and he just drank adrenochrome.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne easily.
Yeah.
That's not even a question.
I know. Yeah, it's really not.
No, I don't know.
Unless Hulk's you're kind of your hero.
I mean, I've heard
But they
interviews
say never meet
with,
your
with
heroes.
Linda, and Linda says that Hulk Hogan was monster.
Yeah, dude.
So, I don't know if Sharon Osbourne's ever really like bragged about how much of a monster
No, I don't think so.
Ozzy Osbourne was.
I don't think so. I think he's probably mostly tired most of the time.
We have a phone call.
Is that what's happening?
Yo, what up?
We have
Oh
a
my
phone
God.
call. You want to give it to her?
You want a sandwich?
Are we gonna put it on air?
Okay.
Bro, you
No, we're not
wanna-
going to put it on there.
Sure.
Hello. Thank you for calling the Standard Coffee Shop /casino /NDS Studio /fabrication
Put it on
shop. This is Raven
speakerphone.
talking. How can I help you? Hold on. Wait a second. Where's the speakerphone button? There it is.
It's already on.
Oh, it's on speakerphone.
No, okay.
Now it's off?
Figure it out. Yep.
Hey,
can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Awesome. Hey, man, I just was listening to your guys' podcast on the Wake It podcast.
Oh, cool. Are you wearing sunglasses right now?
You guys were talking about the Queen of
Fucking
Heaven,
guy.
and you had mentioned that it was only in Jeremiah that it was talked about, and I can't place the verse right off the top of my head. You can Google search it.
Jeremiah
It's in
17.
Revelation, but it's talking about the woman that rides the beast, and her brag when she's speaking is that she sits a queen and am no widow.
Wait, what was the brag? Something to queen and
Stop
am no
moving.
widow?
Stop it, Tom.
It says that she sits a queen and am no widow, and that's in Revelation, and it's describing the beast and the harlot.
Hell yeah, dude.
No,
That's
sorry,
super
sorry,
interesting.
Not beast and the harlot. The beast and the harlot in Revelation. The brag is that she sits a queen and am no widow.
That's fascinating. That's
Fair
really
point.
interesting.
Fair point.
What's your name?
My name's Levi Collins.
Levi Collins just called in.
Oh, dude, I think it's kick-ass, really. I mean,
This
I've
is
been trying to
bullshit.
share with
You can't-
everybody. I'm actually out here in Nevada.
You can't just make up a name like that, dude.
Guy too, man.
He can't hear me.
Well, thanks for calling in, dude. Thank you for watching the show. That's interesting information. It's also very interesting that your last name is Collins and you just called in. That's pretty cool.
And Collins is one of the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati, is it not?
They're also elite.
Well,
Some would
dude,
say.
thank you for calling. We're in the middle of the show, and now you were just on the show. But thanks, man. God bless
Hey,
you.
thank you. God bless you. Take care.
Later.
He didn't say Christ is King at the end.
No, he didn't.
Nobody
Um,
says that, bro. Who says that?
You were
Like, that's
speaking.
your thing.
The way you were speaking to him,
Revelation
it's like you
18:7.
forgot that house phones don't work like cell phones.
Hold
No,
on,
he should be able
Mantis.
to-
Mantis just said something. Let her speak.
Go on, Mantis.
I just said Revelation 18:7.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow. And what's the line? Am a queen and am not a widow.
Yeah. Well, Thomas is going to read all about it. He's pumped for the book "A Woman Rides the Beast," which is exactly what Levi Collins was talking about.
Oh, and that's by Dave's Cunt.
No, Dave Hunt is a legend in the game, bro.
All right.
Okay.
Anti-Catholic.
So
That's what it says?
It doesn't say
Oh,
that.
I mean, it takes 700 pages to say it, but yeah, it says that.
No, he's using Catholic doctrine though from their own writing, so at least he's not like just throwing crap at him.
Which is
It's
also
like-
fine, though. It's also fine to do that.
This is him like, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
So here, let's get into this. This is
That's good.
I wasn't too sure if the UFO thing was real until everybody's favorite
Pseudo intellectual
house Negro.
No.
Said it. He
What?
said it. He said it. Here, let's. I'm just gonna read it, and we'll play a little bit of it. Neil deGrasse Tyson says the public is ready for the truth about UFOs because credible officials and whistleblowers have testified before Congress. But he still wants physical proof of recovered non-human craft bodies.
Went away, dude. Who? Like,
Well, this is a guy.
He never truly goes away.
He looks real bad.
looks like Don King.
Is he
dude.
getting whiter? There's some phenomenon about black people that are in the public light where they get lighter over time.
Yeah, the limelight does that.
Is that what it is?
Skin bleaching.
Oh wait, it's
This
not.
dude has always been so creepy to me, bro.
Was there no fucking volume for this? Never mind. We're not going to listen to this. There's just no volume for it. I picked the best one ever. That's incredible. Well,
but so what's he saying? He's some guy who's a genius.
Well,
and
no,
so,
he's definitely
since
not
he
a
was so
genius.
smart, was he saying there was aliens 10 years
he's
ago?
saying these
Before it
people
was
of
cool?
high rank and all sincere, they have said that they've got alien body parts and reverse engineered technologies. The point, I guess, is, and he's taking a bit of a beating for this, is that he was a huge skeptic, kind of said that this kind of thing didn't exist for the longest time. Now, all of a sudden, he finds himself as not an authority, but it's like he gets a huge spotlight. He goes on these, big gay news publications, and he says this like, "Oh, I think it's time." And it's like, "Yo, dude, this
If he
was something
so
that you
smart, why didn't he know it ahead of time?"
Well, that's the thing. And so instead of this working out for him, he's getting dragged, which is nice. And I thought we could have had some fun with that.
Well,
but
he's just a public opinion, like mouthpiece.
yes.
So he does what he's told. I find it interesting that he's written an entire book on the subject when, he spent his career saying that it wasn't true. But I don't know, this hasn't been a topic that long for you to write an entire
I
book
never
on it.
thought that dude was that bright. I was just like, oh, he's
He's
really...
a trend hopper. I don't know if you guys remember when B.O.B. Came out and he had a song about how Earth is flat, and he was trying to do a Kickstarter to raise money to go out into like suborbit and prove that the Earth was flat and that the moon was all fake. As he's doing this, he actually contacted one of my friends that we were working at Disney at the time, and my friend was a 3D animator, and he was trying to get my friend to create a clapback at B.O.B. that was basically making fun of B.O.B.'s Earth is Flat, but he wanted to make a rap music video where Neil deGrasse Tyson's son was going to be the rapper and like battle rap back against B.O.B.
My God.
But my friend didn't want to do it because my friend was also making music videos for B.O.B. and he didn't want the smoke of
conflict of interest.
B.O.B. like, hey, how come you're doing this thing? But it just showed that they're trying to find like who are the trendsetters, who are the people that are spreading these rumors or conspiracy theories, and then attack them directly on the exact same playing fields. Whenever I see Neil deGrasse Tyson, realize that he's being used as a countermeasure to meet someone in the public playing field. Like if you say something on the news, now he has to go on the news. If you come out with a comic book, he has to come out with a comic book. That's kind of his role.
He was even the guy for COVID for a little while.
Yeah, he's the guy for everything. Michio Kaku, is he a similar character in that regard? I wonder. The Asian. Nobody remembers the Asian mathematician guy that was opinionated on virtually everything that wasn't mathematics, but that was his whole claim to fame, was that he was super good at math, which is like, yeah, you're Asian. I mean, it's not really surprising or anything like that. But he was up there, maybe almost competing for the same spot as Neil deGrasse Tyson, as the professional contrarian, or not contrarian, but counterculture.
Yeah, we don't like Asians in academia right now in the space, though.
Michio Kaku. You know him. You related?
That's my uncle.
I actually don't even know if that's not true. So what's interesting about, we're looking at sort of the, sterilized version of alien disclosure. On the other side, in much more our arena, we're seeing this resurgence of Mike Heiser's work. And you're familiar with Mike Heiser's work, correct?
Somewhat.
And I was explaining a little bit to you earlier. I would say a lot of Heiser's work can be summarized by just saying he extrapolates on the idea of like the Elohim, and the Elohim being a plural noun that is a designation for where an entity resides. Elohim meaning, residing within the spiritual realm, and that God, the creator, is an Elohim, but he also has other Elohim around him in his council, and that they aren't like him. but they are also Elohim. So how does he? I forget how he puts it. He's like, they're all Elohim, but not.
It's like entities that live in that realm, right?
Yeah.
So
But it's
God
like,
lives in that realm, but so does angels.
He's
so
never
does...
claiming they're equal. Right. That is not what his claim is. He's made a great effort to delineate, like, this is, there's no other Elohim like God. But the other angels and such are Elohim. And, a lot of his work informs our ideas on this show. And you can extrapolate from a lot of what he then goes on to talk about to get to this idea that the aliens are a bit of a deception, that maybe the old gods of antiquity were more than just anthropomorphized, earthly elements.
You're saying that you're tying this all together, that they're trying to crush
No,
I'm
not saying, I'm just
right
saying,
at the time of alien disclosure. It's like, oh yeah, no man, the Elohim thing, no, that's BS. Heiser didn't know what he was talking about. These are real aliens.
Well, I'm not saying that that's the effort that's being made purposely, but I am saying that much of the information that leads me to be like, aliens are a demonic deception, comes from the fact that these entities that I believe are the Elohim rebrand over time.
Mm-hmm.
So the same ones that were this pantheon become that pantheon by a different name, but the attributes remain the same. And that I think exactly what we're bearing witness to right now is like a really long multi-generational rebranding. So there's a lot of information that goes into that, but at its root is this concept of the Elohim.
Do you think it's a coincidence that Oklahoma City bombing was planned at Elohim City?
You know what's really strange about the Oklahoma? This is something we never really got to talk about because the guy didn't want to come on the show because he wanted to remain a serious investigator of the Oklahoma City bombing. But he confided in us. I'm not going to say who it was, but he confided us. And it wasn't, for those of you who are wondering, it was not Jose Galison.
It was the guy that mentored.
No.
Jose
Well, we
Galison.
can't say that. I don't know if we could say that.
No, we could say. I mean, we can say it. It's okay. Like,
is it? I mean, it feels like he was like.
And I forgot his name anyway.
Okay, so that's good.
But yeah, he's the guy that like wrote. He's like the foremost expert on the Oklahoma City bombing. He's like good friends. We've been good friends.
Seems like a solid dude. He was a listener of the show for some time.
I think I know who you're talking about.
Well, he said that at Ground Zero, people were seeing angels and devils and demons.
Well, if there's actual photo of when the Oklahoma City with the Murrah building got taken down, and the most famous photo of it in the smoke rising, it's got like this demon face inside the actual smoke.
That happened at 9/11 as well, right?
I remember somebody showing me that.
So I'm not saying that these things are connected at all, but I'm just saying it's an interesting time because we just had aliens or demons go super viral for the longest time. Now, one of the guys who sort of not really pioneered, but added a lot to that conversation back in the day, all at once. And this kind of comes right after the Orthodox debacle, which I can't help but wonder if that's actually what this is, because the Orthodox...
What's the Orthodox debacle?
So the Orthodox Church just got its shit pushed in for, doing a bunch of strange shit, like charging for baptisms.
My bad.
Top had a lot to do with that. Not the charging for baptisms, but the showing people that was happening. Also, a lot of weird stuff like saint veneration to the extent that they're keeping their bones and kissing their bones.
And I don't want to like.
Well, you definitely just said his.
So what? I'm not saying it to like out him. Like, go look at Richard Booth's shit. He's got like really great work. On the matter. He has some personal beliefs. And also he has some stuff that he just doesn't put in his academic writings because people are not ready to hear it. But all of his other stuff is probably the best work out there. Him, Scott Horton, maybe one more person. I mean, really just him and Scott Horton are the people who have the most, like the largest body of work. It's at the libertarianinstitute.com. You can check out all that stuff, but they've cataloged it. He just has these specific beliefs. I wonder how he'd feel about it now. How we feel about like what, because the world is like I was saying before when Thomas scowled at me, we're in a very different paradigm right now. Like if the government's okay to admit this, then it's okay for Richard Booth to come out and start saying, all right, we're just going to talk about wild shit.
I don't believe that though. I think it's a trap. It's like they're going to make it seem that you're allowed to come out in the open and say this, but now it's really easy for let's say someone comes out, not Richard, but someone else comes out and they're like, you know what? I've been studying this for the last 10 years. I'm glad the dialogue's finally hit this level. I can be serious about it. Now Jesse Waters, they can rug pull him. People like, we were laughing. You really believe this?
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Like I think you're underestimating the dynamic of what Fox News even brings to the table. They're nothing. They don't move opinion anymore, but they show the masses where it's safe to go. So it's like, all right, this is warmer water. But what they say doesn't hold any weight for anybody, really. And it's becoming increasingly more that. So that's why I'm seeing them, the admission of what them are doing is significant to me, because not because they hold any weight, but because like, okay, I see where you're at.
It's a shifting of the Overton window.
It's like a dam that's finally cracked, and then they have to admit. So they have to move in this direction. We pulled them in this direction.
So I've got a really strong like psyop vision of this. First of all, I think about how William Cooper came onto the scene, and his whole thing was that he was employed by naval intelligence to spread disinformation, and then he found out, or maybe came to terms, and then told everyone, hey, by the way, all this alien disclosure I was doing, that was DOD telling me to lie to you. And now I'm not lying anymore. I'm telling the truth about lying, and I'm not lying now. Well, that's kind of the exact same thing that I think is happening here. Here's a good example. in the Cold War, there were these rumors that ICBMs, warheads, both in the US and in Russia, all of a sudden they became inoperable, or they armed themselves, but no one was actually at the helm. And when they went and tried to shut them back down, they realized they had no control over it. And this had invited all sorts of alien speculation for the last few decades, right? And basically you had experts in the military saying like, yeah, we had no idea what shut all of these ICBMs down. It was like someone had gained control over the whole system. How would they do that in the US and in Soviet Russia? And the Pentagon in 2025, just last year, they came out and admitted that they were leaning into the alien conspiracy theories and the UFO conspiracy theories, but that in actuality, they were testing EMP, an electromagnetic pulse device, and that's why everyone lost control of the ICBMs. But now in the back of my head, I'm wondering, well, what if it really was aliens, and they're just saying, oh, no, it was, this EMP that we were testing. So don't worry about the last 20 or 30 years of anomaly research. It was just this thing we're doing. Or maybe it really was what they were doing, but they just admitted that they were promoting alien conspiracy theories for the last 2 to 3 decades. So it's hard to tell which of those different angles to believe. Are they doing real disclosure? Or are they doing fake disclosure?
I tend to agree with you. And I think that, Top, what you said there, talking about sort of the waters being warm now, and this sort of thing is okay to say, right? The Overton window has shifted to such a degree that now boomers are being introduced to this kind of information. And I do think you're probably right. We did drag them there, but I think we were probably puppeteered in that way.
Sure.
I think there's a dissemination of information.
We're supposed to be where we are right now.
Yeah.
But we also played a role in...
We've been weaponized.
Rolling the ball.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Acceleration.
It couldn't have happened without conspiracy theorists.
Wait, but
we've been weaponized.
Thomas, you're saying like, we don't know if the government's given us real disclosure or fake disclosure, but there's no way that's the question, right? The question is, how fake is the disclosure? Like, there's no way the government's just going to come out and say,
sure, yeah.
Hey guys, here's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, L,
No,
it has to be fake. It's just how fake.
But it almost doesn't matter, right?
Or you can sneak in a little bit of truth with the fake, or you can sneak in a little fake with the truth. Like that's I think the real plan.
That's the MO. Yeah.
There's always, you give yourself an out. Again, it's the same thing where it's like, I was just kidding. You're taking this serious?
Yeah.
Wow, I was joking before.
But if you are like, oh, cool, the government's coming out and telling us the truth, like, you're an idiot.
Just think about
what is happening.
Think about like children's textbook. This is how I'm trying to frame it. I know it's stupid. A child's textbooks for social studies in 5th grade 20 years from now, it will probably include some of the shit that we're talking about today. Like, if we continue on this slow path, whether it's true or not, like the things that the government has said is what is going to be pushed to the next generation.
That's interesting.
You understand what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying fundamentally different. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. People, they're operating, their modus operandi is going to be completely different than how we grew up. My kids have to grow up in this way now.
We had this conversation in 2020 where Jess was like, you guys are going to remember this year the rest of your life. I was like, yeah, or this is the new norm.
Yeah.
And
that's what they were calling it. This is the new normal.
Right.
So yeah, they exactly. They're not going to remember it, the generation that's coming up in it, because that's what they will be in.
Yeah.
It's just very shame, but we'll remember and we'll see. It's just, I don't think people understand that yet.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where this goes, but to your point, Matt, they're going to lie. It's just what lie to what degree? And for those people in the space, we've had arguments with people because they'll go, oh, you're saying everything is demonic, but there are Elohim that are still in the grace of God. There are good entities. If you're Alberino, you seem to think maybe some of them are neutral or they're good ones, but they are aliens. It all gets really confusing. I just don't think that's what we're going to get disclosed to us. I think we're going to get an inherent deception disclosed to us. They're never going to say, hey guys, I'd like you to meet
the truth.
The Archangel Michael. He's still in the grace of God, and he's been here the entire time. Guys, give it up for Archangel Michael. Like, it's not going to happen.
Right.
We're going to get some, chimeric nightmare that they cooked up in a dumb or.
But when they show up, you just go, first say Christ is King. Then you blast them with holy water with a super soaker.
Yeah.
Then you make them drink the blood and eat the body of Christ. And if they can survive all three of those,
the cracker,
then maybe they're not demonic.
Well, it depends. What are we supposed to do? Is it like a regular crack, like a Keebler's, or like is there a special one?
No, it has to be unleavened.
I don't know. Today's society's been like, we've been dumbed down to such a level where we live in ghettos, and we've been convinced by the government that we're not supposed to protect ourselves.
You were arguing with somebody.
Moving away from a ghetto is like racist.
Oh yeah.
And just that you're so helpless that you can't take care of yourself. You need this free stuff from the government to survive. Otherwise, you couldn't survive on your own.
Not just that, like we're living with actual predators, and we're being told that we're not living next to actual super predators, which I agree with Hillary Clinton
predators.
And I guess it's a very racial point. But what happens when this gets to aliens? Like, I mean, people already believe this shit. We still have not addressed that Russian girl that got stabbed in the neck by the guy. I think that dude. They said he wasn't mentally fit to stand trial. So
she was a Nordic.
She was a Nordic,
and he was a reptilian.
She had it coming.
He's not laughing.
Yeah. Well, that guy,
Nordic.
by the way, said that he was being. I'm going to paraphrase this, but this is very serious. That guy who stabbed that lady in the neck. Now, of course, if it's far be it from me to not be like look at the black community, but this dude said he was hearing like he said they put something in him.
Oh yeah,
they put something in him.
Wait. This is the guy on the train. He was on a train.
Red hoodie dude. Yeah,
that guy said that. Nancy, see if you can find that.
And wasn't the news that like he stabbed her and nobody did anything?
He has a name.
Irina. Yeah, he stabbed her in the neck. Nobody did anything. And they watched it.
I don't know what his name is.
Oh, okay.
The point I was making though is that like us as a society, we've been desensitized to this. Like nobody was even like people are mad online. People are mad, but it's largely accepted. Like
about
they go,
aliens?
No, they're mad about this act. And this is like a very
no one stopped it in the middle of it. But ironically, the last episode of Seinfeld was that everyone goes to jail because they don't stop a riot in like a Puerto Rican Day parade, right? It was like the Good Samaritan law, and they all end up becoming bad guys because they don't jump in as a Good Samaritan law.
Yeah.
But then here we have essentially the inverse of the Good Samaritan law. Like Irina getting stabbed in the neck was basically the inversion of Seinfeld's final episode.
Yeah.
But also as a society, the fact that people are not necessarily upset about it, it's just like, okay, so we're going to have, if you can present aliens into this population right now and they could do any manner of things, and I think people would just be slightly tolerant of it, depending on what they're told.
Everybody is just numb to everything now. But you're saying this will be a time that we look back and go, it'll never be the same. Because there was a thing that happened like 7 days before my 21st birthday. These planes hit these buildings, and then like I remember watching on TV, and the plane didn't hit the bottom, it hit the top, and then the whole building like crumbled like this. And I wasn't a conspiracy theorist, but I was like watching it, and I was like, that doesn't seem like what a building would do if a plane hit at the top. Like I remember thinking it back then.
Yeah.
And it happened at 2 buildings. So you got to see the second one on live TV. And I remember
technically 3
people.
buildings.
There was like other ones. And then I remember people saying, oh, nothing will ever be the same now. We'll all remember this day because nothing will ever be the same.
Nothing has been the same since.
That's true.
You live in a fundamentally different culture because of that event.
And this will be another thing. Is that what you're saying? You're
like that happened. You have COVID. I think this announcement, it's interesting because it's not like a building hitting the ground. It's not like shutting down. Well, COVID was a little bit of a slow release. I think it's more like that, where it's like a slow drip into society, but people just will never be able to pinpoint the moment.
Dude, if that dinosaur comes out and has a press conference, that's going to be the moment for most people.
Right, but like, okay, so when did World War I start?
Oh,
is a great question,
you're going with this, or World War II, or World War III. Now,
World War III could have started with the Ukrainian War, right? Or
have we been in it for like years now?
Technically, World War I was the Serbian Black Hand secret society, right? taking out
oh yeah, we all know
Archduke
that.
Franz Ferdinand.
Oh, Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, I totally remember.
Supposed to be. I mean, I've heard arguments against that, but I don't know. I'm fucking retarded. I don't know anything about history.
Yeah, it's possible. But were there events before that people knew about and said, what? Something just happened here that's fundamentally different.
Right.
I can't put my finger on it.
And also, those in the know, would there have been something that some people were aware of that kicked off a thing? And who knows? But I do think that we're not going to get answers on that front. What we can do,
the Orthodox debacle.
Well, it's not just the Orthodox debacle. Well, by the way, you were arguing with somebody over the bread thing, and I thought that was interesting. I was going to bring it up a moment ago.
Yeah, I was just arguing to argue.
Yeah, because they were saying like whatever it was. Here's something that I actually think would be interesting, and I'd like to get Matt's thought on this. So somebody said, actually, this is the guy we had on the show. Remember the guy that said faggots don't get redemption or something like that?
Yeah.
So that's Band Pastor. This guy goes, actually, fuck Band Pastor. He said you should kill homosexuals today. And somebody called it out, and he got timed out. Absolute bullshit. So I guess somebody got banned for calling out this dude for saying that. And then somebody here, Steve Anderson, says, I agree with Band Pastor. You should kill homosexuals. Leviticus 20:13. So first off, let's unpack that. What does he mean by that, Matt? Leviticus 20:13. Is that something?
As right passage, it says under the law of Moses to stone homosexuals.
But we're not under the law anymore. So is that the whole put that to death?
We're not under the law.
I mean, man, I need some Bible explanation here. But my understanding is that the Old Testament were Jesus's dad's rules, but when the New Testament comes around, it's like Jesus saying, don't worry about my dad. He's kind of a dick. He's got these really horrible rules.
Totally wrong. Totally wrong. We just read stories today from the Old Testament full of grace and mercy. Elisha saves the whole Syrian army, even though he didn't have to. That's definitely not it. So the Old Testament isn't the law, and the law isn't the Old Testament. The law is within the Old Testament, but there was a time period before the law in the Old Testament, like Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, they're all pre-law. Enoch, like all this stuff's before the law.
Sure.
Then the law is given to a very specific people group for a very specific period of time in a very specific geographic location. Remember we read those passages earlier?
But the ultimate meaning is that if you call yourself a Christian and you follow the New Testament, then you don't necessarily have to abide by these old laws that are in the Old Testament. You don't have to worry about Leviticus. That's just a cautionary tale from a previous time that applied to a different set of people. No,
well, not caution. Yeah, I mean, maybe we're kind of saying the same thing. Yeah, it applied to a certain people group in a certain location for a certain time period, and that's not us. But it's not like God the Father is different than Jesus. Like they're the same. God the Father was doing everything out of love. When he flooded planet Earth, it was out of love. It was the best thing he could do for mankind at that time. When he killed all the firstborn in Egypt, it was the best thing he could do for mankind. Like God is love, right? And it's just operating a certain way. You get into the New Testament, God's still killing people. Like in Acts chapter 5, Ananias and Sapphira come in, they lie, and boom, they get smoked, right? And like what we would call a church service. The book of Revelation, God doesn't look like super chill in the book of Revelation.
No, right. But
like that's all.
But why do we have to stop killing the faggots?
I mean, did anyone say that you had to?
Well, that's an interesting because
he hates dead air. We just had to give him a little dead air.
My thinking when I see this guy Stephen L. Anderson, and when I see Band Pastor, and they go, "We should kill homosexuals," I go,
"What's stopping you?"
Okay, go.
Yeah,
but isn't
you're saying this guy's just like,
go ahead. You want to go kill fucking gay people? Go ahead.
Yeah, he's not doing it.
But on a long enough timeline, the eugenics solves that problem itself, right?
Sure. Fair point. So the Bible says, I'll know your faith by your works. That's a great point. If that guy really believed that, he'd be doing it.
Well, that's my thing, right? Is if that's something that you really believe, tweeting it is one thing. And I get like tweeting an inflammatory banger. It's a lot of fun.
It probably gets the views or the money or whatever.
Gets the people going.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
he really doesn't believe it.
Go kill these faggots then. Go ahead.
No, don't do it. Don't do it. I'm not saying that. Don't do it.
No, I'm not advocating for that. I'm just, it's more like, it's a snarky way of saying, you're not going to fucking kill anybody, dude.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's take a look at on the eugenics, how Bill Gates wants to eradicate like 1 billion people, 10 to 15% of 9 billion people on the planet.
Yeah.
He's not necessarily he's not advocating to go out and actually like murder people and remove them from the planet. What he's doing is like, if I can get these mosquitoes to breed with other mosquitoes, but then they don't realize that the mosquitoes they're breeding with are sterile and they're never going to have offspring, then X plus Y less Africans after like a long enough period. But he's not saying go out and kill Africans. He's saying like let's genetically alter mosquitoes and then ... profit. Right?
Well, here let's see.
There is that clip where he says that you can control the population through what is it, like birth control and vaccines?
Right. Well, his logic is that if you do it through birth control and even just through infant mortality rates, that you start to plant this idea in people's heads that you don't need to have 12 kids anymore because you don't got to worry about 7 of them being duds and the other 5 are the ones that work out.
Right.
We're going to improve life so much that you only have to have 1 or 2 kids and they'll be fine. You never have to have any more. And that in his mind, that's the version of eugenics, is that you're only going to have 2 kids instead of having 12 kids. And on a long enough time scale, that basically means the eradication of 10 to 15% of the population.
Yeah.
Well, so it's not like I'm going to murder those people to remove them. It's that I'm going to take this Fabian society approach where I plant a little seed now and in 200 years.
What does he gain by decreasing Earth population?
Less poor brokies for his great grandkids to procreate with.
Oh, yeah, that's true too. More resources.
That's the whole Hogan dream, right?
Yeah,
it's like you see
that was
ruined
ruined
with
for
a black
him.
dude. I'll be honest. I was on vacation. This fucked up. This fucked up. I was on vacation. I was at the hotel. And
you got a great tan on vacation, by the way.
Thank you, Matt. And I was just seeing a guy, a grandfather, clearly a grandfather with his kid at the splash, or his grandkid at the splash pad. Kid's black.
Yeah.
And I turned to my wife and I go, not me.
Grandpa kept turning his back, hoping someone would kidnap him.
No, I mean, listen, you love your kid. You love your grandkid. But I'm just like, I could see why.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like that could be anybody's kid. If I would have stopped and be like, yo, stop talking to that kid. Like, you don't know that kid.
Yeah.
I would have been well within my rights to be very suspicious.
Put that black baby down.
Put that black baby down.
Yeah. I saw some video of some dude following a guy through the city.
Like, Matt thinks it's messed up, but it's kind of like, I don't know, dude.
No.
If you have the kid, you're gonna love the kid, right? If that's your grandkid,
No, I
you're
got
gonna love the
lost
kid.
for a second. I got to be honest, and I'm sorry.
He was just staring at you. He's reading the chat in the reflection of his glasses.
What are you saying? You were at the pool this weekend on the vacation, and somebody grabbed a black baby. I don't know. I feel like that's what I heard. What happened?
He brought his grandkid.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the hotel, and they were doing a vacation. His grandkid was black, doesn't look like him, and I'm just kind of like, I'm looking at him like, man, it's just so much. Like,
yeah.
Wait, so I don't understand. Like, what? So what was wrong? Like, what was the issue?
You know what was wrong.
What was wrong is that they stood in stark contrast to each other.
Oh, and you're saying the grandpa did not look like the grandchild.
Yeah.
And the grandkid, I assume, had stole grandpa's wallet.
That's how you knew. Yeah.
Bicycle.
Yep. Stole a bike.
Okay.
It's the whole.
Wait,
Hogan
and so
argument.
what was your point that you would say, hey, something's not right here?
Top said, not my black baby.
What I'm saying is just like, I get it.
They're like the baby got kidnapped. Is that what you're saying?
No,
like,
Hulk
maybe
Hogan.
I should go ask what's going on in this situation.
I understand.
Do you know the Hulk Hogan thing?
No.
Okay, that's the problem.
Yeah, his daughter was like banging a black guy, and he like didn't like it.
Yeah.
And he said, I want my grandkids to look like me. Was it like?
No, but
that's
what he
hard
meant.
R's.
That's what he meant when he started. But that's what he meant when he dropped those hard R's.
That's the implied part. And if I act like no, there's no big deal for me, I'm lying.
I don't know. I'm a little different than that, dude. I heard a long time ago when I was super high that killer whales go like to the other end of the planet to breed, to like find something way out of their gene pool.
I'm not a fucking whale, dog.
I'm just saying when I saw that,
I want my kids to look
all
like
killer
me.
whales are the same color.
Okay,
but I want my grandkids to somewhat look like me. So like that way when I'm in public with them, I could be like, yes, this is of my lineage. Look at my bloodline. Look at this is what I am passing down.
Wait, and it's bad if they have a different skin tone?
For me, yeah. I'm not. I just don't give a fuck anymore. Yeah, for me, I would not want
What's
that.
Gonna do?
Okay, but what if a
lock
white
up all his
guy
bikes when your grandkid
like,
comes over?
Don't want your daughter dating their son because she's Spanish.
Word, but that's great.
No, that's not great.
Why not?
She might fall in love with a white guy, dude. Like,
and to beat her.
Again, that's her choice. I'm just saying, like, I'm not gonna lie
What's
about.
so hard to understand?
I'm not gonna lie about my preference. This goes back to this idea.
I know, but if two humans
Matt,
love each other,
this
that's
goes
what you
back
want.
to the idea of the aliens. I know, but what you're saying is just fucking goy slap bullshit. You're saying what you've been programmed to say.
That's
right.
What are you talking about?
That's
Two
right.
humans love each other. I don't care what skin color they have.
You're
saying that's bad?
I'm not. I'm saying, what do you prefer? Not what is bad.
I don't
or what
know.
is good.
I don't care hair color.
You
eye
sound like
color,
a real
skin
ortho
color.
bro right now.
It's just if two people are in love, dude, they're meant for each other. They're compatible.
Regardless of gender and age.
Thank you.
never had.
Thank you, Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
me
there you go.
either.
Amy
Yeah.
gets it. Amy gets it.
It's just it's for me. It's psychotic to go like it's like looking in the mirror and going, I hate that. Like no, I look in the mirror and I'm not like, oh, look at me filled with vanity. But I look in the mirror and I go, okay, yes, that's good.
Let's make more of this.
Make more of this in the world. And you know what? When you look in the mirror, you should do the same thing.
Yeah.
You should be biased toward yourself.
No, I like myself. I'm not saying I don't. I'm
Now,
saying I like
Thomas,
other people
Thomas,
too.
This is a crazy racial point, but again, extrapolate that down to aliens. Present aliens into society. I feel like that's what we're being.
No, another species. I don't want my family or my descendants.
Oh, so now you're
like
not like what if they're the tall whites? What if they're the tall whites?
No,
you tall white.
No.
I'm just saying, do it for 1,000 years.
I can't tell when you're serious or
I'm
not, but
being
now
very
I know you're
serious.
serious.
1,000 years from now,
I'm like, what the heck?
So where top seems totally out of pocket right now, 100 years from now, if things go the way they go, maybe 200, you're the one who just said a thing that's going to be out of pocket.
1,000 years.
You're
You're
going
gonna
to want
sex
your
with this
children
gray?
to marry somebody that they love, dude, and they're going to have a good life with, and you're not
I
going to
don't-
care what
I
skin or
don't-
hair or eye color they have.
No, you're
I
going to be like the
don't-
reptilians move in and the crime rate goes up and the housing market collapses practically.
I don't prefer
and
it.
I think you should keep them all, and they're all in a welfare state, by the way. None of them know how to work hard.
It's just a lie, dog. Like it's a lie. It's a complete lie that we have brought and believed. I don't prefer it, and I don't prefer it for a number of reasons. Number one, yeah, I would like for my lineage to continue to look like me. Like if you go back, I've seen pictures of my great-grandfather. Like
There's no way he looked like you.
Yeah.
No, with the hair?
No, he was bald, but he looked like me.
There's
So
no
it's like,
way. Yeah.
Okay, no, but he does, and I feel like that's kind of like the point of what we're doing here. That's
You
like
don't look super similar to your dad, dude. You guys look a little different.
a little different.
I look at this the same way that right now, if you look at the color of cars, right? Most cars now are gray compared to if you look at the distribution of cars from, say, like the 70s or the 80s. There was way more yellow, green cars, blue cars, red cars. It was way more colorful. But what happens over time is that people realize cops and insurance companies treat different colored cars differently. You might get pulled over more often if you're a certain type of car color. So what this does is, in general, people start saying like, oh, well, my insurance will be lower and I'll get pulled over less if I just get the silver car, if I just get the gray car. So then what happens now, everyone just drives a silver or a gray car. It becomes this like ubiquitous color. So now you kind of get to be like a crypto criminal. The cops don't know just by the color of your car whether or not you're going to be speeding. And the insurance company doesn't know that you're going to get more wrecks because you've got the same color car as everyone. And I feel like that's like, what is the colorgy plan or whatever? But it's essentially, if everyone is the same kind of color, if we're all the same version of mulatto, then you can kind of like sneak under the covers.
I don't like that, though.
And
I don't
you
like
know-
a society of mulatto.
But that, I mean, that on a trajectory, that's
That's
where
where
the
we're going,
trajectory
yeah.
for humans are.
Yeah.
So what
on
happens
on a lie.
if you try and be like, I want my white or whatever, your Puerto Rican babies to look like Puerto Rican babies or whatever.
I'm just saying, when we were at the pool, there were only one type of person that was
they're-
misbehaving.
but they're
Who-
going to be
yeah,
targeted.
The loudest ones.
But anyone that doesn't have this ubiquitous sort of look to them, those are going to be the new outcast minorities that get targeted. So then there's going to be a societal reason, like a practical reason, to just like have everything be ubiquitous.
Yeah, but can't we just fucking tell the truth right now?
Well, here, let's
Like
I thought
nobody.
it's bad to be white now. I thought that was like the whole thing. It's
What
like,
do you feel in your soul? Like I know. Listen,
superior. That's what he feels.
No. You can wear the sunglasses and you can do all the shit, but like in the end of the day,
does
if
that
you
mean?
came back,
Mr. Nasty is
I-
coming
you can-
out, dude.
you
Where is
can-
the sign? Get
you
the
can
sign out.
disguise and you can continue to put up fronts as if like, look at how good of a person I am. But like, what do you actually prefer?
Okay, let me
in
ask
your
you
heart
this.
of hearts at night when you think on this, Salah.
Can I
think on
ask
it.
you something?
Yeah.
Because this is a thing that as you're framing this question,
I'm not
right?
saying you're gonna
Right.
say do you not love this kid? Like, no, of course you love this
No,
kid.
no. I'm not saying that at all.
Could you throw
I'm
him
not
right in
saying
the
that at
trash?
Like what I
I'm
did
not saying
see
that at all.
what I did see with that grandfather when he was with that kid, I was like, man, he
loved him.
fucking loves that kid.
Yeah,
That's great.
amen.
But like, wouldn't you prefer
Okay,
that
so
that
hang
kid
on,
look like
hang
you?
on. So Tom
like,
Lobster.
are you a little sad? And also, it goes to show, it's like you brought your grandkid to the hotel. It looks like maybe some sort of a staycation. Where's the dad? And then he starts to go crazy. Wouldn't you have preferred?
Yeah, never around.
Okay, hang
never
on.
there.
Wouldn't
Hang
you
on.
have preferred?
Hang on.
Right.
So Top Lobster, right? He's a
me.
teenager. He's playing guitar in
Yeah.
the church band, right? This lovely lady comes in.
Deep hatred
that
for blacks.
he like looks at and falls in love with. It's Christina, but she's black.
Oh, it's not happening. Yeah.
Huh.
Christina, it's her heart, it's her soul, it's who she is.
She would have had an
You
Audi
see
belly
her,
button. It
you
would have been a
meet
wrap.
her, you know you're going to be in love with this girl and have this great life, you're going to say, no, sorry, Christina.
As soon as
I'm
he
out.
saw that belly
I don't
button.
like your skin tone.
Yeah,
As soon as
because
you saw that little-
it's crazy because my life experience has shown me that a lot of other things come with that. It's not just like skin color. Skin color is fine. It's about like, all right, how do our families gel?
Oh, I was going to say her
happens with our
crime-committing
culture?
family.
Well, it's not even crime
Okay,
committing,
that's a totally valid point.
very
Our
different
culture,
things.
how does our family vibe? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Amen. But that has nothing to do with skin tone.
Like, but I'm just saying, like preservation of what I'm doing, and it's like I'm
Amen.
not like okay. So can we have some fucking reasonable sensibilities?
Well,
then?
no, here, let's get super
But
reasonable.
do you see how this goes down? It's like, yo, dog, we are primed to introduce. Go ahead, introduce it in 4, not even one alien race. Introduce all 4 into society and watch people jump all over themselves to just include them.
Yeah.
It's like what's
Don't
happening?
get it twisted. Dudes are going to line up to BF them. 100%.
100%.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, here, let's talk about a black. DeCarlos Brown Jr., who is the dude that stabbed the Ukrainian woman. Thank you, Nancy, for bringing this up. Newly released, you don't have to bring this on screen. Newly released police body cam footage shows Charlotte light rail murder suspect DeCarlos Brown Jr. telling officers that, quote, a man-made material was controlling his body months before the fatal attack on a Ukrainian refugee. The Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department said the video was taken during a welfare check. Oh, this is a separate video. In January this year, after Brown himself called 911 to claim that a foreign substance had been implanted in him and was manipulating his actions. In the video, Brown, 34 years old, is seen speaking to the police officers who ask him what's going on. He says, quote, my body got exposed to a material. He responds, I need you guys to investigate into what my body got exposed to. I've been going through this for 3 years now. You guys got to investigate the name of the material to fix my emergency. One of the special things about this material is that it communicates with you clearly.
Wait, can I ask a thing?
Somebody's playing with my body.
Unobtainium, right? That's what it
Isn't
was.
this wait, isn't there like
Vibranium.
I don't know. You guys probably know, especially Thomas probably knows.
Yeah.
How do they get the guys to do like the mass shootings or like the public shootings? Like
Yeah.
we didn't have them
Just like that.
and then all of a sudden we did. Isn't that what it is? Isn't that how they get them to do it?
You used to do MK Ultra where you'd have to do a whole bunch of like trauma-based disassociative bullshit. Now you just inject them with some black carbon goo that conducts all the frequency warfare you want to leverage their way, and then you break them down and say, go do it.
I mean, we can make fun about this guy for like saying crazy stuff, like he was implanted with some substance, and that's what made him do this. Or that's also what Timothy McVeigh claimed. Timothy McVeigh claimed that the military was implanting microchips rectally inside of his body that
Hell
were
yeah.
basically controlling his thought patterns.
But microchips.
Yeah, that like I don't know. At some point, you had to ask, how do they get the shootings and the stuff like this to happen? Somehow, they clearly have a way to do it in the patterns that they happen.
Well, after a protracted interaction with officers in which he repeats he's been exposed to a material and tries to hand them a piece of paper which he says describes the situation, he is seen to become frustrated with the police that are unable to help him. Brown maintains that the material he says he was exposed to was given to him without his permission or authorization, which is interesting, right? Just the spiritual nature of permissions and consent. But he is unable to expand on how, beyond saying a crime was committed. You know what that sounds like? A black dude that doesn't want to admit that it was administered anally. They're like, what happened? He goes, a crime was committed. And they're like, how did it happen, sir? He's like, I don't want to get into it.
You know what? Never mind.
Never mind. Y'all can go now.
Wait, so
I drew you a picture.
This is legit what he's saying, right?
Maybe he's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, look.
Thomas is leaning towards yes.
The problem is, statistically speaking, it is not an aberration. Is that a word, an aberration? An anomaly. For a black person to suddenly stab somebody in the neck on public transportation. That is not at all an anomaly.
No, what is an anomaly is like the level at which this gained virality.
It was horrifying.
But it was also like, okay, it was like everybody sees it. Now what?
But they also, that was an edited clip, like right before she gets stabbed. I believe she stepped on his shoes.
Oh,
yo, she had it coming.
Okay, all right, I'm cool with that.
What was he wearing?
It's Jordans, brand new Jordans. Yeah, he had a new high top Jordan ones, and
I need to reassess my opinion on them.
They were the Spider-Verse ones. Remember when the Spider-Verse came out, and then the Jordan ones hit? Yeah. No, I get it. By the way, this was several months before he did that. And then later on, this happens. I don't know. Interesting. I mean, you could just say you want to go into all the
guy that's in and out of custody. So it's
I know, but
a lot of
failure by the medical
this is
industry.
too beneficial of a thing to happen for it to not be scripted. It's way too beneficial.
This is where I'm on board too, because if you look at the pattern on Charles Manson, right?
Yeah.
Charles Manson was constantly, he was on parole. He's constantly getting arrested. All these parole violations. It only takes one, but every time he gets busted, he has to go to a mediator, which ends up being at the Haight-Ashbury Clinic. And when he goes and talks to this mediator, then essentially he basically is like, look, stop going to San Francisco, stop leaving the area, just like hang out in this one area. And he keeps getting him off the hook. And when I think what comes out in all the chaos research, but essentially he was more useful on the streets being this agent of chaos that they could control than he would have been in jail. Like when they sent him to jail, he was also a disruptor, but he only has a limited amount that he can actually change. So if you find something, and I think this is one of the biggest trends you can see with CIA and intelligence networks, a lot of people have a misconception that like some nerds in CIA sit down at a desk and they come up with this big game plan. Like, all right, we're going to recruit this guy and have him do this thing. I think really what they do is they sit back and they wait for people already doing crazy shit on their own. And then being like, let's just drop like 10 grand in this guy's bank account. Don't even tell him where it came from. Let's just like throw a little fuel on this fire and see what he does with it.
Give this guy a pair of new Jordans.
When someone gets released 20 different times,
give him a knife.
It's like, let's put this guy back out on the street and let's just see what they're capable of. Let's just like give him this concept in his mind that like you can get away with anything. And if you think you can get away with anything, how far is that going to push you? And I think that it's like a controlled experiment that they're just doing on such a large scale that when you see one go out of hand, it's like, oh my God, a national tragedy. But really the CIA guy's like, okay, when you do A plus B, you equal C.
But that's also like kind of a helter-skelter race war thing. You know, they have that in common too, because that's what this does is it stokes the flames.
That's what I'm saying. It checked too many boxes. It infuriates so many people, right?
Did it though? Like,
and then it's like not just the guy stabbing, but nobody helped, and then people are just irate.
But nobody cares. It's
nobody does anything. Nobody changes.
Remember when the lady was on fire in the bus,
nobody
the train, and nobody cared that she was on fire. They just kept walking by.
Where I'm
or
from.
It was the Uvalde shooting. It might have been the Uvalde shooting where.
Uvalde,
shit that I make up. And there's some white chick who's just dead on the ground, bleeding out, and then some black girl where her nails did in her Starbucks is like, oh, there she go, okay, and just like records her dead body and just keeps walking, sipping her Starbucks, and it was like
it's completely free range.
It was that was a time where like the fatigue was at a height. I would say it's died down a little bit, but it never goes away. Now it's just a stewing underbelly.
I'm not calling for a race war. I'm not calling for
not calling for a race war.
No, but I'm just saying. I think it's a good example of like where we are. Like, are we primed for just? People are just like, whatever, dude.
Yeah. We're primed for they could say anything and everybody would be like, yeah, that's just what's up.
Yeah, so it's like that event
I know, but this is strong delusion.
It looks like it happened for the powers that be to go, okay, yeah, good, aliens. You know? Okay, next step.
Would anyone care if a reptilian stabbed a gray in the neck on a public bus?
No, that'd be super cool. That's kind of what happened though, isn't it? So
in a way,
if he really did get an injected or they put it in his butt, some sort of technology, I think we're focusing on the negative aspect of technological advancements, and I think that we need to look at some of the positives, like maybe this one: transgender woman gets new vagina made from fish skin,
same taste as old vagina.
That was very good. That was a banger. Same taste as old vagina. This is a little bit old, oldie but a goodie. This is back in 2019. But I'm like, look, man, I think if you focus on,
they got rid of the rotting flesh smell.
Well, does this eliminate the need for dilation?
I hope it's descaled. I don't know. I just think it's cool. What do you think about this?
Stay slimy. That's a stay slimy.
Thanks, stay slimy.
Well, because if you don't have something, I mean, I assume that the fish skin would eliminate the need for dilation. Because even if you become transgender, I think that it starts at like multiple times a day you have to dilate. Then it goes to multiple times a week, and then I think at the very least you have to go like 3 or 4 times in a month to dilate. Otherwise, the wound literally just heals itself and closes up.
Well,
so this might be a way around that, because if you leave the scales on, then it's not.
It can never go too much.
Seal itself back together.
But it does have some pliability to go the opposite direction. There was a famous instance of a trans kid, you know, whatever. So I forgot what the hell the name of it is. They had their own show, and there was some behind the scenes, you know, footage that came out where the mother.
I think some of this race stuff kind of like goes towards like just preference, Matt. I see you're disgusted by this.
What are you bringing back? Why are you bringing this back up? I thought we were over the whole race.
I'm just saying preference. Like I prefer because we're getting to a point where people will be like, "What do you mean?
prefer if your grandkid didn't have a mussy?"
What?
Yeah, and the people will be
fish
like,
mussy?
Be like, "What do you mean? That's intolerant."
I don't want to ask my grandkid if they've washed their fussy today. That's fucking, that's crazy, dude. What's that smell? Daquan, have you washed your pussy today?
Man, shut the fuck up, Grandpa.
Daquan, have you seen my bike? I just think that it is, you know, it's time for, I watched a movie recently called Greenland, and it's about like an asteroid impact. And it's kind of like that meme where it's like, just bring it on. Bring on the asteroid. Just wipe the slate clean. You know, bring on the fire. I wouldn't feel so bad if I saw it. I'd go.
G-By Jonathan said that's real catfishing.
That is real catfishing.
Damn.
Well, I mean, you can tell by the smell.
Well, catfish don't have scales, right?
I don't know. I don't think they do have.
It's got more like a leathery kind of skin.
That is true.
So that would be something that would be unedible under the law. Because in the law, it had to have scales. Anything in the water had to have scales and fins.
Can't eat that.
But if it didn't have scales and fins, you couldn't eat it.
Yeah, I get it, girl. It's got that real fish taste, but I can't eat it. So the kid was, thank you, Trevor. The kid was Jazz. So Jazz was like a famous trans kid, one of the early ones that kind of popularized, he was a bit of a mascot for the movement, right? And some footage came out where the mom was bragging, more or less. Not bragging, but she's just like kind of unloading what it's like to be a trans kid's mom. And, you know, the mom's saying, like, I got to forcefully dilate this kid.
Oh, no.
Or else the fussy is going to close. This is before the you know, invention of the fish lining.
This is madness, man.
How we can air this episode. I don't think we can.
It's
watched on everything.
It's live, but it's not on YouTube. So it's just live to Patreon. But the idea was that if you didn't dilate it, it would close up.
It's a wound.
It's a wound. It's an active wound. That's what these things are. This is why I actually keep, and this is going to sound psychotic, and this is not part of a bit. And I realize it's unhealthy, and actually it never.
Can't wait to
it
hear
never
this.
was. I never used it in the way that I intended to use it.
What, the dilator?
Twice a week, David.
No, that I use routinely. I have a gallery that's filled with mussies and frankenpenises. And the reason that I have that is because early on
this phone,
early on in this, I don't know, phenomenon of giving kids hormone blockers and then successfully, I'm doing that with air quotes, transitioning people through surgeries, I was discovering that there's no such thing as a successful transition, and that all a doctor does is create for you a meat sandwich of a penis or an open wound that is fucking not recognizable as a vagina, but more looks like a war wound that you'd sustain, you know, fighting for your country. And so I started saving them. And then for a brief period, I'd find some, you know, transsexual on Twitter. We'd get into an argument and they'd go, there's nothing wrong with it. Why does it bother you? And I'd go, you can't be a fucking girl. You can't be a girl because here's a picture of you not being able to be a girl. Or if it was a woman that wants to be a guy, I go, you can't be a guy because here's a picture of you not being able to successfully be a guy. So you have a chunk out of your forearm and now you've got skeleton arm. And then you've got all of that just
kind of the wiener out of the forearm?
Yeah, dude. And they just kind of.
What if you have weak forearms?
Then you got a weak wiener.
It's just a skin.
Is it just a skin? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And then, but
it's a grafting process like anything else.
Yeah, I guess when you remove the skin and then also the fat goes with it. So what's left is it's so thin.
That is,
your arm is so
this
thin.
is like mutilation and torture. It's not like, I don't know. This is madness.
You want to see some?
I think all this is this is all headed towards alien shit, man.
Probably.
Honestly, I know it sounds crazy. It just feels like the same path.
Well, it's another level of transhumanism, right? It's basically saying that we can correct what God didn't do right or nature didn't do right in the first place, but it's also sort of this way to dominate nature. I mean, I'd almost say, as heretical as it sounds, it's an extension of the Bible saying that, like, God gave man dominion over the rest of nature. Like,
that's
you
an
get to
intriguing
control.
statement. Yeah, I don't think that's blasphemy or heretical. Or
So, like, you being able to graft skin off of your arm and turn it into
it's just this
a
war
girl
against
dick.
God, yeah, and almost saying like, yeah, we're in control down here. We do whatever we want.
Check that out.
No, I don't like that.
That's crazy. That thing looks like you ever see a summer sausage?
Why do you have this picture?
I don't like that.
Ugh.
You've ever seen a sea slug?
But man is always doing this. Man is always in defiance against God, man.
Here's another one. You gotta
Like,
put like
you do
a
have
straw
to- I
in
don't
it
like
so that
this.
it stays open.
But could this not be
Like a
an
straw in it?
extension of God giving you dominion over the natural world? Isn't that just another
It's like
extension
God gave
of
you
like,
dominion, but like he didn't say you were gonna do a good job of it.
he gave me the forearm and he gave me the know-how?
This doesn't even look like
I don't know. I think
stop. It just looks like it's all sealed
I
up.
think, yeah, you got to look at this word dominion, man. I don't know. It's probably one of
Why-
these words.
Why are they all size queens? Like, how come there's not like a
Because every
micro-
single one of them goes in there and goes, take the biggest chunk of my arm you possibly can. That bitch took it out of her thigh. And she's got 50% less thigh now and 100% more chimeric abomination penis. Look at that one. That's crazy as well, too. I just have a never-ending supply of
Can you
these.
zoom in that a little bit?
Stop
I can't.
that
I
one.
don't
don't
quite
like
see
this,
it.
On the tip of it, it looks like it's all sealed up.
Oh,
It doesn't look like it's a thing that's
So
gonna.
what does the passage say? The gifts of God are, I forget how it words it, but like he doesn't take them
Penises
back.
and
So like
mussies.
say he gives man this gift. Yeah, man will sabotage and hijack that gift and
That's
pervert
actually
it.
how
Like
they do
that's a
that, too.
perversion
You
of
see
this
the-
gift is you've been given dominion. It's even like on a food forest, right? Like you've got a food forest. You start
Oh, you'll
growing
like
fruit
this one.
trees, you start growing your food, your own medicine, you got your animals, you got your chickens, your ducks, your goats. You can either work in that system or you can fight against nature and spray it with poison,
Yeah.
spray it with all this stuff. Or you can like, I'm not even gonna look.
Go
at
ahead,
it.
have a look.
Or
This is
you
the
can
last
just, like,
one. Last
roll
one, I
with it.
promise.
Okay, I do not like that.
Well,
yeah,
I think,
yeah. You know why? Because that one was
I
black.
think what we're doing here is like
That one's called the Batwing, by the way.
I
They
don't
have-
like
No,
it.
I just showed him a
There's a
black
You
very-
see what
one.
I'm
He liked the
saying?
black
Like
one.
you can pervert these gifts that God gave you, man. Like you 100% can.
there's an obvious rule set, right? Like, so yeah, like God allowed us the ability to farm chickens.
Yeah, he's like, you can domesticate animals, dog. That's
Yeah,
not
you
what
can
I
stick
fucking
them
meant.
all in a
Well,
shed in a metal building and give them this much space.
Right,
And you can say,
exactly.
yeah, I have dominion.
Okay, here's maybe a more practical example.
Yeah,
What
I have
about
dominion.
your kid's born with a cleft palate, and then you have the doctors
Toss him off
correct
the cliff.
cleft palate?
Yeah, I don't see an issue.
So then, what about you were born without the penis that you should have had? So now the doctor is going to remove
This
skin
man-
from your
he's
arm.
well versed in
That's
trans
madness,
arguments.
though. That's
Well, who
madness.
told- who
what do
told you that?
What do you mean that you were
Told you
supposed to
that.
be
Did
born
the-
without a penis?
did the
Like if you
demons-
got a penis, you're
Did the
supposed to have a
demons in the
penis.
astral realm tell you that?
But-
It's because okay then.
But,
Yes.
but couldn't the same logic be said that like you were meant to be born with the cleft palate?
Yeah, you can absolutely make that argument, but you still have the right to like correct it. But we know the trans thing is not that somebody's like, especially as a child, that they're like, oh no, I'm supposed to be, even though I'm born with a vagina,
well,
I'm supposed to have a wiener. It's like, I know kids that are like, I'm a T-Rex.
I
They're
mean, when
not
you-
like, oh,
when you
give him
get to
T-Rex
the-
surgery and let him be a T-Rex.
Well, of course, but I don't think that there's ever been a baby that was born with a cleft palate that was like, hey, doc, come fix this. It's usually the parents that are
Yeah.
like, oh, we see a problem, fix this problem.
Well, I think
So-
you absolutely have the right to get a sheenus, and I have the right to go.
He doesn't believe this, but I love how you do that. I love how you do that, that you get the.
Well, no, there
you
is.
get
It's
the
like,
good
where's the
argument
line? You have to
back
find
from
the
people,
line.
even though you don't believe that.
You don't know.
I knew a chick with
Yeah, I
the,
do.
I knew a chick with the tail, and a lot of my buddies slept with her.
Ew, a tail?
And it was weird because she was.
What do you mean a tail? The tailbone had a little thing.
Just like a
Like
white
a
Yeah, this
person?
motherfucker was like 4 inches, and and she could make it wag.
Stop.
Yeah, I'm not
I
making that
never
up.
know when to believe you or
Well,
not.
you
Have
need
you ever
to-
heard that story?
If
From
we're going to talk about the transgender
Well, I'm
thing, you
saying,
need to go down
did she have the right to remove it?
Hold on, David, shut the fuck up.
I'm just
You
saying.
need to go down the you need
You
to go
got a
down
tail,
the
nigga.
idea of why this is even happening. And it's like, well,
Right.
most of these trans people that are getting these surgeries that are transitioning or at least identifying as like a lot of them are women, whatever, mostly autistic. And then we can't discount the large propaganda machine that is targeting them. And then we also can't discount the amount of vaccines that these people have had to make them suggestible to this. So there's just too many nefarious actors to be like, yeah, that was a thing. Like maybe back in the day, it was probably much more rare. And I don't know, the society was probably definitely a lot more against it. But it's like now
There's no question.
it's
10,
almost
20,
impossible.
30, 40 years ago, it was totally unacceptable.
It's almost impossible now to gauge how much of that response is actually coming from this person versus how much is like, you're on medication, you've been told this. You've been born with the suggestibility of a child. and you've been kept there on purpose by government medication. So it's like, I'm not even going to have that argument of like, well, what if this person should have been this way? What if this was a mistake? Sorry, man. We can't tell that anymore because the lines have been so blurred. So that's that. No more sheenuses. Stop it.
All right. And also if your kid has a cleft palate, you got to kill him.
Yeah, you got to kill him.
Off the cliff.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, listen, what's wrong with the cleft palate though? Like a cleft palate's like,
I think it does
Joaquin
cause a lot
Phoenix
of.
is a great actor.
No,
you know?
there's like ones that extend all the way into like there's a hole in your
But
palate.
changing your sex is not the same as correcting whatever you want to call it, a disability.
Also, how did they get the
or-
cleft palate? Is that like what from like some sort of like vaccinations when the mother was?
No, those were probably
It's a
happening.
mutation in utero. But like, here's another example.
How did that happen?
If you look at one of the original transgender surgeries, right? I can't remember if the doctor's name was like John Money or something like that, but it was the result of a botched circumcision that was done so wrong.
What
that
else was John Money doing?
The doctor was looking at it.
Wait, was
and he
John
was
Money?
Let's just make it a girl.
And well, he was like, we screwed up the circumcision so bad. This is never going to be a boy. So they basically trained this kid and raised them as a girl, even though the kid was fighting against it mentally their entire life.
No. John Money was also like raising two twins, like one as a girl, one as a boy. He was having sex with them. He was doing all kinds of wacky shit too. So like that doesn't fly, dog. This is like that was a good excuse to do that to somebody.
You transgender one kid and start banging him. It's all anyone wants to talk about for your entire career. Like you've never had any other sort of advancements in science.
Oh, that's interesting. He pioneered the use of drug treatment to extinguish sex offenders' sex drives.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's taking credit for that. Actually, that was part of an early eugenics program in the 1900s. The first vasectomies were being given to prisoners, which wouldn't stop masturbating in prison.
I just came here to find out if he was Jewish. I'm finding out all kinds of other
was Jewish.
fascinating stuff. Yeah. Oh, he was friends with Yoko Ono. That's cool.
Although I'm pretty sure it turned out well for that first kid that they did the surgery on. Yeah, they ended up having like a really long and happy life.
As a female?
Oh no, wait! They killed themselves. That's right.
Oh, I can see how.
you
Yeah,
didn't believe in this.
sometimes you mix up the what actually happened.
I knew you didn't believe in this, but I like how you play the devil's advocate. Top does that to me too when he needs like some content for X. He'll like throw some crazy argument at me and then wait for me to like respond and be like, good.
There's certain things that logic can beat any sort of form of emotional response. Like for example, when Katy Perry came out as transgender and everyone wanted, or was it Lady Gaga? That everyone probably voted against it. But I mean, clearly it's all pink on the inside. So you're just being a bigot if you wanted to make like one decision over the other.
Do you think Lady Gaga was born with a penis?
Maybe both.
Oh, like an actual hermaphrodite?
Perhaps, yeah. In that case, you get to pick, right? You get to pick which one you want.
Well, this is something I've talked about before. Is before we had.
Can they keep both?
I mean, I guess they keep both in the rare instances where people are born with both genitalia. Is that a thing?
I have a
you
question.
Shouldn't be able to have both.
I know a guy that
has both.
My grandma.
Nice.
Well, he's dead now, but
my grandma.
She said that he had dos partes, meaning like both parts. She changed him as a kid because like he was relative to a relative. So
no
like,
way. She changed him and he had a wiener and a vagina.
That's what she said. Whatever both parts mean is that's what she said.
I wonder if he was more of a boy or more of a girl.
As he got older, he was like an elder in the church. Guy, but he had like, facial hair, looked like a dude, presented as a dude, but he was kind of gay. And then he's in the church and he has like a boyfriend. So I'm just like, I don't know where to put this. I don't know, because he didn't choose that. This is something like, all right, this dude didn't choose this.
That's a hard thing, too. You spend your whole life resisting your vagina. That's rough.
Yeah, you have ovaries and a penis. So, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
he could never figure out where to go for dinner. Could never pick a restaurant.
But this is not the norm. This is like,
yeah. And for those people, it could be. That sucks. You got a nightmare situation going on.
With CRISPR, that could become a norm. Right?
And let me tell you, they would do that. The furry community. You know how many furry community characters would, if you could get a cloaca, they'd get a cloaca. There's so much perversion now in all of it. Am I sharing something? I thought I was sharing something. I think people would definitely opt to get both.
Well, like when some people go to get the ice cream from the soft serve, they can't decide if they want the vanilla or the chocolate, so they have the swirl version in the middle.
A little bit of both.
All right. Well, I think that's probably a good place to stick the landing.
Yeah, I guess we can stick the landing there. I did want to say something. I mean, I guess we're done with it.
Go ahead.
Orthodox Church. No, I don't want to talk.
No, we could talk about the Orthodox Church. if you want.
I was by the pool and I just made like this brilliant observation.
Yeah.
Of I was like, how come the things that were like founded in the name of the apostles, are just filled with niggers. St. Thomas, St. John.
Oh,
the Orthodox Church, just filled with retarded niggers.
Wait. What do you mean like St. John is
filled with them?
Like,
you have
I
to
was just
expand
thinking
on this.
Yeah, like a location
called
St. John's?
Yeah, like the location, the physical locations of today.
That's an island, right?
Yeah. I'm just wondering. Like I was arguing with them.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying like all these guys are a bunch of retarded niggers and I can't figure out why. And then I remember like a year ago I was in this island and it was the same thing.
That's interesting.
It was literally the same thing and I wanted to get out of there.
What about Little St. James?
Same thing. Why? Any idea why?
I don't understand the premise.
So it's basically the idea
that like at the St. Thomas Virgin Islands or St. James Islands.
I'm thinking like literally
those
St.
actual
Thomas,
territories.
not the island.
It's like Martin Luther King Boulevard.
It's making
always
a very
being
racial
the
statement and saying they're dum-dums there.
It's not necessarily a racial statement. It's more
an
of
observation.
A spiritual disposition.
And what about St. Thomas again? Why are there a bunch of black people in St. Thomas?
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I mean, it's true that there is, right?
Yes.
At St. Thomas, right? I mean, that is true.
I don't know. It's something that I really need to chew on and think over.
Well, I do think that, like I said before, that Michael Heiser thing, I think kind of stemmed out of the beating that the Orthodox Church took
And the
pretty
beating
recently.
that they took stemmed out of a cover-up of, Protestant pastors lying about aliens.
Oh, wait a second. We got something here on the way out. I'm going to show Thomas.
What do Protestants have to do with Orthodox?
Nothing.
Here, let's bring this up.
What the hell is this? It's muted.
Oh.
Who's trying to do?
Why is that happening?
Sounds kind of cool.
Hold on a second. I think my audio started coming.
Sounds like
Oh,
they're on
I
a
know
spaceship.
that did happen. It told me before that my audio got all fucked up. How do I fix that, Top? I
What
gotta
do
go to microphones.
Protestants? You
I got it. Boom.
What do Protestants have to do with the Orthodox? It just led into like we had the Protestant pastors that said that they had the meeting with the private government actors about aliens and how
did they ever get
address
called
their church.
Protestant pastors? It's very rare for that phrase to even come up. They would just say pastors. Because Orthodox was calling them out?
No, I think it's important to make the distinction that they were not Catholic. I don't even think Orthodox have a place in the conversation at this point. They're just like Catholic. So if we're going to separate the two, because it's almost like two different religions. Catholic, guys with fish hats. Protestants, guys with jumbo jets and fake pastor voice. So those were the guys.
But you're lumping Orthodox in with Catholics?
Yes.
I don't think that's correct.
I do.
No. What if Thomas has you are not Orthodox and Catholic specialists. We're just like, oh, okay, whatever. What's the difference?
My grandparents were in Opus Dei, which is about as Catholic as you can become, I believe. Not in the top 6,000, the ones that like do all of like the self-lashing and whatnot. But I mean, I think that calling
the
Catholics
same grandpa
and Orthodox,
that was
this is almost like saying that like generic brand dollar store cereal is the same as Cocoa Puffs. It's not. Like it might look
Which
the same.
one's the Cocoa Puffs?
General Mills. That's like the official brand.
No, I'm saying is Catholic or Orthodox the Cocoa
Catholic.
Puffs?
Oh, Catholic.
Okay,
is the
Catholic
real
is the
one.
Cocoa Puffs and Orthodox is like the knockoff?
I believe so, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, so their argument is that they are not the knockoff, that the Catholics are the knockoff after the schism. And my argument is, who cares? I look at them and I go,
because they're doing the same stuff. You're saying
it's the
Believe
same shit.
stuff.
It's the same shit. Why am I gonna I'm gonna sit here if they're gonna call everybody Protestants, then I'm gonna say you're gonna call me a Protestant. I'm not a Protestant.
Do the Lutherans not get involved in this entire thing? Do they just?
They're included in Protestant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair,
So like,
fair point.
so if it's a fair point for me to then go, you guys all have this, like you have a church filled with gold. You're all praying to Mary. You're kissing dead bones. You're counting rosary. Whatever.
Well, so-called Protestant
Catholics.
just is protesting and came out of that Catholic system.
Yeah.
But they
they're
also
still
believe
so
in-
much like that Catholic system, but they're just different. It's a different. We still going to do a show that the Catholic calls it a mass. The so-called Protestant calls it a show. Catholics still going to take up money and build this thing called the Vatican. Protestants building a giant institute, 501c3 institution. Like, it's all the same stuff. It's just like, which are you, Republican or Democrat?
No,
we're saying, we're straight Bible, dude. Like, we're just straight Bible. I don't care
scripture.
what this group said or what that group said or what that group said.
I'm outside of it for sure. But like, if you're going to make me like, it's fun to be like, all right, Republicans or Democrats. And I'll be like, yeah, well, of course, Republicans. Like, this is not really a choice. Like,
I know, but there's some people that pick Democrat.
Right. All I'm saying is that, like, in comparison, when I look at, and my main gripe with the Orthodox Church has been like, I don't really give a fuck what they say. We can argue about the saints all day. We can argue about, well, where did you get the Bible from? Okay, your doctrine says that you guys hold the keys to salvation, and you don't. That's what they believe. And whenever they're pushed, and I'm like, that right there is alone is enough for me to just discard you completely. And it gets interesting, and I've been pushing a lot harder too, because I'm like, and I feel bad because I like some of the people in it, especially the ones that are like becoming the target of this. But I'm like, I want to see something. I want to see something, because half of you guys will say one thing and half of you guys will say the other. But one of the things that they do say is that, like, well, there's no salvation outside of God's holy church, meaning us, the Orthodox Church, or even the Catholic Church. So I go, okay, cool. There's a lot of you guys that are out there that are talking a lot of shit about everybody. So I go, hey, does your priest know you're saying these things? And the priest go, we disavow. And I go, well, this is what they're saying. So I'm like, well, it looks like you're going to have to kick them out the church. And I go, hey, buddy, if they kick you out the church, do you lose your salvation? Because this is your doctrine now. And it's very interesting for me. And what's insulting for me is that, like, a lot of these people we have spoken to, and it's like they come and they talk to us and they, they're nice enough and they say pretty cool things. But in the end, they're like, oh, yeah, no, you guys are fucked. You're all going to hell. Like, we think you're going to hell because you're not part of this church. You guys are anathema. Cool. Say it to my face.
So you got to be a part of a man-made system.
Whatever they say. I'd like for, like,
a little transparency.
If I approached you and I said it to your face, like, I'm very honest with what I think about, like, what's happening here, and I'll tell you exactly what I think. I certainly don't think that. Why do you keep it guarded? Why is that like, we don't, well, maybe kinda, but no. When pushed, that's exactly what you think. So then we examine a little bit further, and, like, it's just old hat at this point, but it's like, all right, well, how do I become a part of the church? Well, you got to get baptized. And somebody goes, the guy band pastor goes, well, it looks like it costs $250 to get baptized here. So now, not only are you gatekeeping salvation, which is given freely, but you're charging for it. And then it's hilarious to watch these people fucking tie themselves into knots. And I was like, these are your words. And they're like, well, Protestants look great. Protestants look fantastic, because none of them are saying you have to pay money to get salvation. They're asking for money. We'll take your money, and they're probably fucking kids, and they're probably flying jumbo jets and shit like this too. It's like, dude, there's not a comparison to what you're doing. What you're doing is like an actual heresy. It's actually horrific what you're doing here. So I'm trying to game theory some stuff out, and I'm seeing some people, they're like, yeah, we should excommunicate people. They're calling for excommunication of some guys that were, I don't know, talking about a girl. I was like, yeah, do it. Let's see what happens.
I saw
where
that.
Where are you at with your holy standard?
Yeah.
If you can't be in the church, then you can't be saved, right? So the church has now kicked you out. So now we're like, forget it. Forget about God, whatever God says. Forget about the Bible, whatever that says. Forget about whatever Jesus died for. This guy in a cape and a robe said this thing. That's what we're down to.
Now you're fucked.
And I'm continuing to sift through, and I keep on poking and pushing, and I want to, and this is just what we come down to. So I'm like, there's a really big hole in what you're saying in your doctrine here.
Yeah. But it's funny because I think on the same breath,
like, wait a second, Michael Heiser. And now we're talking about Michael Heiser.
You would say, if you said salvation is given freely, they would go, yes. And then you go, but if you're not in your church, you're not a Christian. And they would also go, yes. And then to do that, you got to get baptized. That costs $250. And not every case, right? That's not the case every time, but like, there's no uniformity then across your church. So how do you appeal to your church as the authority
there
figure?
Is uniformity. They charge you like, well, if you want a private baptism, yeah, but then they'll be like, well, we do have baptisms once a month. I was like, okay, so just don't die and come back on the first of the month. But if you die, you're fucked.
This is coach versus business class baptisms, essentially.
Yeah, basically.
Like, do you want to baptize your baby in coach, or do you want to baptize your baby in first
ask them
class?
like, hey, there's a sufficient amount of water in that puddle. Can you come baptize me in it? I wonder if they would say yeah.
I don't know. I don't like these guys.
Well, here, let's attack a different organization. Let's attack the Freemasons. This one's for you. I don't know what you're going to say. I saw this.
I admire your conviction, man. I like it. Like you're going for it.
You can't leave yet. Don't look at your phone.
I got to leave in 10 minutes.
Okay, we're going to probably wrap it up.
I'm going to continue.
As much as I love this, I got to do about it.
Whenever this comes up, I will continue to push this and continue to make them contradict themselves, because this is the position that you've stated. They love debate. Great, debate with yourself here.
All right, let's see what this guy's got. I think this is on Freemasonry. Well, here, let's just see what he has to say.
We can go back to.
By the way, is on Tucker. He's the guy that's after Owen, and
cool.
He's talking about aliens and demons, basically.
All right.
So
John Dee, for example, Enochian magic.
Who is John Dee?
So John Dee was basically like the head of intelligence for Queen Elizabeth, right at the beginning of the British Empire.
Elizabeth I.
Yeah, sorry. Go back in time to the 1580s.
Century.
Yeah, exactly. The 1580s. And D is the original 007. That's how he signed his signature. So Bond is actually inspired from John Dee.
Wrong.
And he was into magic. He basically was working these, what they called Enochian magic, because, again, derived probably from the Book of Enoch, but he was communing with these beings, watchers, what he considered angels, but and he had this, these incantations, and
he was summoning spirits.
He was working with spirits, and the theory is, basically the Shakespearean Tempest play is inspired from John Dee as the wizard in the story is basically John Dee, that he essentially made the deal for the British Empire to become the most powerful empire in the world, and it begins.
Is he just looking at the ground for most of that? He's like not even looking at him.
That's interesting, by the way. That play that he references, isn't that the same play where you come upon these yellow sands? That's I think there's something.
I don't even know. Like,
play.
What was the point though? Like,
the Tempest.
You know what it was? I think I got duped a little bit because here the thing was bombshell. Ex-Freemason Sean Stone claims British Empire gained dominance because he never said that that's why they gained dominance.
Well, that wouldn't have been Freemasons anyway. That would have been Rosicrucians.
Well, this guy, I guess, is ex-Freemason Sean Stone.
That is the same play. It's a reference to.
That's weird.
It's from Mother Horse Eyes.
Right.
Have you seen that? Have you heard of it?
No, I haven't. I've seen the clips that you guys have done.
Dude.
Okay, you should listen to it.
You should listen to it. But that's interesting because
you should read this.
Then that means that one of the main characters in that play was fashioned after John Dee.
Yeah.
That kind of makes the whole thing a little bit more messy and interesting. Because I've yet to, because I don't read plays because that's gay, and I don't watch plays because that's gay.
Well, fuck you.
Right. So I don't really understand it when they go like, come upon these yellow sands, and that's a reference to a Shakespeare play. I go, fuck, I guess I'll never get that information because Shakespeare's gay and plays are gay. Now I'm tempted. Now I'm tempted to know what that be all about.
Tempted to read the Tempest, yeah, like Baby Yaya says. But yeah,
shout out to Baby Yaya.
Shakespeare was actually Francis Bacon, and there's the John Dee Francis Bacon connection.
Oh, you mean
about the Rosicrucian, the Invisible
Sam
College.
Tripoli.
Sam Tripoli, yeah, but
Sam Tripoli is Francis Bacon.
So John Dee's work gets absorbed through Francis Bacon, which then gets put out through William Shakespeare, which then basically turns into the New World. Like that. That was the entire premise of that from start to end. And it wasn't that John Dee was a magician; it was that he was putting forth the rest of the Rosicrucian.
But you guys just lock up.
No, we're gonna bring right now. We're bringing it
dude.
into an end right now. Let's.
Thomas,
we have to go dilate.
Where can people find you, Thomas?
ParanoidAmerican.com. I've got comics on there, games, stickers, shirts, and the all-new Paranoid American dilators.
Oh, nice! Keep that pussy open.
And you can find his biography on Straight Bible.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, now
it's
it's where are you from on Straight Bible, right?
No, it's interview sessions. Because I didn't even ask where he was from today.
Well, I guess I got to rename all this stuff.
Great, just more work for Todd.
Thanks. I got to get back to work, guys. Bye.